Man, I can't believe this crap, man. These cops are out here arresting people just for breaking the law. Man, these tyrants are out of control, bruh. I thought you were a lawyer, now you say you can rap. Well, I've listened to your record, made me go take a nap. The rhymes you're spitting out, they make you sound like a nut. Your latest track, it's got less views now than Gun Cereal's butt. Well, you say you're just a man who wants to smoke out some weed, but you smoke yourself stupid, boy. Get the help that you need. You think you could be like Tom McDonald? I need this job.
This lawsuit.
You're gonna lose.
For this lawsuit.
Now watch me play the blues.
This lawsuit.
You put against cat.
For this lawsuit.
Make sure you wear the hat. All parties have been sworn in. I've read your complaint.
Frivolous lawsuit.
The way it's written, it sounds like you've been smoking paint.
That means
if we have that title to your shit, we will take it.
Oh, come and take it, bitch.
All right. I want your money and I want your dignity, and I'm taking both.
To quote my good friend Artie, come take it, bitch. Come take it, bitch. Come take it, bitch. Come take it, bitch.
Come and take it, bitch.
She spit in my face.
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 Take it, bitch.
Take it, bitch.
She spit in my face.
You're a fucking idiot.
She spit in my face.
Shot little thick dude.
A woman walks into the ladies' room at the mall. She enters one of these stalls and sits down to begin doing her business. As she starts to pee, she looks down at her shoes and sees a head poking under the stall, looking up at her with a camera. "What are you doing?" she screams, frightened. "I'm recording you," says Denver Metro Audits. "But this is a bathroom," she squeals. "Yes, a public bathroom, and there's no expectation of privacy in public," he tells her. "You don't belong in here," she yelled. "I didn't see any sign saying that," DMA replies. "It says ladies' room right on the door." Maybe it does, but it doesn't say no men allowed, does it?" he asked her. "What? That's stupid," she sputtered. "You're being a Karen about this, and what's stupid is shaving down there," DMA answered, holding his camera up. "If you let that bush grow in, it would create privacy for your hoo-ha like a hedge." She stared down at the activist lying on the filthy floor looking up at her. "A hedge? Look, they should put a lock on that door if they don't want people coming in. They need to create privacy," DMA said. "It says ladies' room. They assume men won't come in here." "Well, they shouldn't assume that. And I can film whatever I can see. It's my First Amendment right as an independent journalist." "Oh, you're a journalist. What are you working on?" she asked, sarcastically, wiping herself. "I can't divulge that information at this time. The story isn't finished yet," he lied as if there were a story. "No expectation of privacy in public," he reiterated. But I'm in a stall, she cried. Yes, and look, it's open on the top and the bottom, DMA answered in his thin voice. They need to create more adequate privacy, because if I can see it, I can film it. You don't have to like it, but it's my First Amendment right. The conversation droned on like this for a while, the woman on the toilet and DMA on the filthy floor next to the toilet. Finally, the woman says, Christopher, don't you think this is inappropriate? I'm your mom. And that's a true story. Absolute true story.
Oh, man, I love that. That was great. Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning stream. Hezokuai in the house. What's up? I got my American shirt on because today is a very important day. Yes, sirree. And I already saw some people in the chat acknowledging the importance of Veterans Day. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love you guys. Thank you. Welcome once again. And we're going to start like we always do by saying hello to everybody individually, or at least doing my best to say hello to everybody. Commentator, auditor, good morning, Hezokuai. What's up? Rise and shine with Hezokuai. What's up? Commentator, auditor, Cliff Hickson, morning. That's right. David Perillo Jr., look at even him saying, see, this is the smartest thing he's ever said in my chat. Happy Veterans Day to all who've served and still believe in freedom. Yes, sir. Terry Barnes, hello. Cliff Hickson, welcome. Nancy Marcho, what's up, Nancy? Good to see you again. Always. I kiss. Hello. Love you. God bless. Hope you're feeling better. Hope everything's going good. Thank you I appreciate that, I'm safe. The hurricane, like Ian, like we got blasted pretty good. This one was more of a kind of a, like, if my arm is the hurricane, we got like this. So it was bad, but it was not the big stuff was like a few miles the other way. So that worked out. It was more north. I kiss Terry Barnes, commentator, auditor, Salacious. What's up? Good to see you, buddy. Terry Barnes, Salacious, I kiss Jimbo in the house. Woo, woo, woo. What's up, Brian Showman? What's up? Luna Knights, yeah. Welcome. Good to see you again. Susan, the sassy old great granny. Yes, yes, yes. Love it. Love to see you here. Welcome, welcome. Luna Nights again. Chelsea May, what's up? Welcome. Zerzu Zyquin. Hey, all right. Another happy Veterans Day. Yeah, what's up? Let's go. Chelsea May. Vinoy, what's going on around here? A bunch of hippies having fun. How about that? Commentator, auditor, Jimbo, I kiss. Wharf Bear. First time I ever got here from the start. Good. Welcome. Good to see you. Terry, I guess. Deb Beasley, good morning. Jimbo, Kim Crawford. Yes, rise and shine with Hezokuai. Good morning. What's up, Frauditor Busters? Adam Strange, what's up? Good to see you. Jimbo, hashtag rise and shine with Hezokuai. Yes. I kiss Kim Crawford, Kiss a Cat, Vinoy, Adam Strange. Fight the Flat Earth debate. Chat room Flat Earthers. Oh, they're almost dumber than chili. You got to be almost that dumb to be a Flat Earther, that's for sure. You almost got to be dumber than a Frauditor to be a Fat Earther. Flat Earther. Yeah, they're the opposite of that, right? Okay, so hello, everybody. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Veterans Day. Happy, what else can I think of? There's so much. Oh, man, it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. The one thing, oh, wait, Graham Garfield came in and said, hey, I got a hashtag rise and shine with Hezokuai. Yes, love it. Love you guys so much. Welcome. So anyway, the one thing that's good about this hurricane as opposed to Ian is that this didn't hit us anywhere near as hard. But what it did do is it lowered the temperature outside a little bit. So it's actually kind of pretty comfortable right about now. In fact, I think I might even put one of my hats on. Let's see. Hold on. There you go. I used to always have the hat on when I was on, but then being out here, because for those of you who've been following me for a while, I started off my whole journey in Chicago and then Wisconsin. So I would always wear my big hat because that was, nice and warm. But then once I got down here to Florida, that was too much. I put that thing on, I start sweating. And even this in summertime was getting a bit like, unless I was swimming, this would be a good sun hat. so I wasn't wearing it as much. But now that it's kind of cooled off out here a bit, I could pull it off. Chelsea Mary, what's up? So today I've been thinking about, how I want to format the show for certain things going forward. And today I was thinking of making it more of kind of like a laid back, me kind of focusing a little bit more on talking to you guys, looking at the chat and, just having a discussion, just us hanging out, I do have a couple things I wanted to go over and show. But first and foremost, how's everybody doing this morning? What's up? What do we got? Let's see. Let me look at what you guys are talking about here in the chat. Let's see. Happy Veterans Day, and thank you. Yes. News report. I see. I always got to go backwards because I catch like later parts of the conversation, right? You know what's funny? Sometimes doing this that I've noticed is I'm sure some of you must remember Three's Company, right? And what was like the premise of like every episode, right? Like whatever, Jack is in the kitchen and he's trying to teach Chrissy how to make a turkey, and they're going to put it in the oven. He's like, no, you gotta stick it in. You gotta stick it in. And right as Janet walks by and hears that and thinks, oh no, they're having sex in the kitchen, right? And that becomes the whole premise of the thing because all she heard was that. Sometimes I get that. I've noticed like with the comment section, like someone will say something and then someone will respond and then someone else will respond. And then I read like the third or fourth one down and I don't know what the hell they responded to. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What? What are you guys talking about? Good morning, Delete Claus. How's it going? Chelsea Berry Jabot. I love that. There's so many different Delete Laws channels. It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you. I love the way that everybody's tearing them apart all the way down the line. I hate autocorrect. It drives me nuts. That's one of the many issues with modern technology. And I think it's beginning to get to a point now where I'm starting to notice that more and more people are so used to it that they are beginning to, like, I'm seeing more and more people are starting to understand, like, if you text them something crazy, they'll be like, was that an accidental text? Was that an autocorrect? Did I take that the wrong way? And I like that. I think that's a good thing. I mean, it's lame that we're at a point in society where you have to explain yourself, but it is extremely difficult when you're doing something through text sometimes to get what they're trying to say. Delete malls, Brian Showman says. There's a sentence. I'm trying to remember how it goes. I didn't say she stole the money. That's the sentence. It's the famous sentence. I didn't say she stole the money. And the reason, the thing that made that sentence famous is that it was written very specifically to have a completely different meaning. Graphene. And now I like it more than graphene. Well, Garfield, glad you like it. Graphene. Good morning, Marzipan. All right. So there's a sentence. It was like scientifically designed sentence specifically that says, okay, well, see, again, if I don't say it right, then I'm going to screw up my whole point. But it's something like, I didn't say she stole the money. And the whole design of that sentence was specifically to illustrate how just texting something is completely different than saying something. And that sentence has a completely different meaning, like several different meanings, depending on how you say it. For example, I didn't say she stole the money. I didn't say she stole the money, which means somebody else said it. I didn't say she stole the money, which means that those words never came out of my. It has a completely different meaning. Well, I didn't say she stole the money, which means that, yeah, I said someone stole the money, but I didn't say it was her. I didn't say she stole the money, which has another completely different meaning. It means I didn't say she stole it. Maybe I said she got it from some other means, right? I never said she stole the money. Again, a completely different meaning, just depending on how you say it. Well, I never said she stole the money. Like maybe I said she stole a watch. So that's just an example of, hey, Gamer88, what's up? An actual scientifically created example of how when you read something in text, it is possible to completely misunderstand just because you're not hearing the words. But that's good. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. So what are we talking about? Wakanda Forever? See, I wasn't sure. I still don't know because I didn't see it. Is that because obviously we know Black Panther passed away? So is it like continuing the story on after he passed, or is it something where Hollywood's using like old unused footage of him and repackaging it into a different movie? Or I don't know anything about it. I mean, like the behind the scenes stuff, and I didn't see it, so I don't know. But I do know I got hot coffee, and that matters. I saw it last night in 3D. Wow. No spoilers. That's right, Dr. Strange. You tell them. Let's see. 18 pages of what? What are you saying to Icus? The judge probably live in Chile offers nothing and have. Oh, we're talking about the Chile sending his crap. Man, I have an 8-year-old son that would probably be able to file a better motion than Chile does. Hello, Hand Banana. Welcome to the channel. Good to see ya. Let's see. So for now, I'm just starting out. We're just doing more of a kind of chill, hanging out with the chat type deal. Like I said, I got a few things I want to go over, but for the most part, since it's Friday and it's Veterans Day and everything else, I just want to go into the weekend on more of a chill kind of note, especially after yesterday's stream. Leland Squirrel's here. Leland, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, just more of a chill stream. Yes, absolutely. Happy Veterans Day. We love you all. Yeah, so yesterday I did something. So I'll give you the backstory. I have no idea. I'm assuming most of you've probably seen it by now. But I was sitting here and I was watching TV. And my computer's here, my TV's over there. I'm sitting here, I'm watching TV, and this idea just hit me. And I'm like, oh man. And then I thought, hey, wait a minute. That could be a short. So I grabbed my phone and I just filmed myself saying what I thought and posted it. And the thing got like an insane amount of views. And Michael Landis, what's up? And I'm like, what the heck? And I didn't expect a short. I never really posted a short before to just blow up like that. But excuse me, what's funny is the idea of Rise and Shine with Hezokuai, the rash, getting under the Frauditor skin like a rash. The comments on this short are insane. In case you guys haven't seen it, I'll show it right now. It's 38 seconds long, so it's not like the end of the world. And don't worry, I'm not. Who said it? Where was that comment?
Yeah, Graham. I'm not saying we're not going to watch any videos or whatever. I'm just saying that, because yesterday I was hooping and hollering and screaming at the camera and going crazy and doing all this stuff. It was fun. It was great. But like today, I want to make it a little bit more laid back. Save it for Monday when I absolutely go crazy. It's a holiday. We're supposed to celebrate the veterans, not shorts get all the attention. Yeah, unfortunately, because there's, well, I don't know. I like I said, I've never done one before, so I wasn't sure what to expect. But I'm fascinated by the comment section. So let me pull it up real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, I'll play it right quick. Let me just pull it up. Pause. All right, there we go. Rosh, rise and shine with Hezokuai. Hey man, I didn't invent it. Leland, Edward Kettler. We get free meals today out of the Chinese buffet. We burned it down a couple more. What? Well, kiss a cat. What's up? Me, what's up? Top of the morning. Yeah, I just, this is my first one. It's called First Amendment Audit Challenge. Y'all see me? Yeah, there it is. All right.
Hey guys, I was just inspired by all of the TikTok challenges. I got a First Amendment auditor challenge. Since when you walk into a building, you're trying to prove to everyone through what you do that it's your building that you paid for with your tax dollars, so you should be able to do what you want in your building that you paid for. Here's your challenge. Next time you walk into a city hall or a post office or a library, walk right in the middle of the place, strip off all your clothes, lay down and play ping pong with your ding dong all day long and see how long that lasts. Because it's your building, isn't it? Hey guys, I was just inspired by all of the TikTok challenges. I got a First Amendment auditor challenge.
Funny, man.
Since when you walk into a building, you're trying to prove to everyone through what you do that it's your building that you paid for with your tax dollars, so you should be able to do what you want in your building that you paid for. Here's your challenge. Next time you walk into a city hall or a post office or a library, walk right in the middle of the place, strip off all your clothes, lay down and play ping pong with your ding dong all day long and see how long that lasts. Because it's your building, isn't it? Hey guys, I was
how do I
just
turn
inspired
that
by
off?
all of the TikTok challenges.
Here we go. All right, well, here, let me go back. And so that was my short. And drop them, Frauditor. Do it. Yeah, go to the Pentagon and see how that works out for you. Oh my goodness. So there was that. So I posted that yesterday. And like I said, that wasn't even like a thing. Like I was sitting here and that it's basically a joke, right? That joke popped into my head and I'm like, oh man, you know what? I'm just going to film myself doing it. And then, just post it as a short. Why not? Just for fun. And then I did that. And you talk about getting under the skin of the frauditors like a rash. My comment section went nuts. That thing got almost 2,000 views so far, and I just posted it yesterday. It hasn't even been 24 hours yet. And so I'm looking at the comments for that. Let's check these out together and see. And some of my responses I thought were good. I don't know. Let's see what you guys think. Let's get back to the present screen. And they changed that too, man. Like it used to be like share screen and now it's present screen. So I get that. But it's like I gotta get used to the change. Strange. All right. The strange change. Oh, look at me. Oh, I'm a poet. I didn't even know it. All right. No, Adam, no. Ah, my eyes. No. Like that SpongeBob episode where it's like he sees the bald head of the king and he says, my eyes, and they start smoking. Oh man. All right. So here's some of the comments. This is from Check This. He missed the bus. Like I guess he's saying I missed the bus. I don't know. Weedskador. A lot of frauditors have a big mouth, but not enough to back it up. Let's see. We're the ones that are bad. Well, not bad, but what? Okay, that's not even a comment. Oh, here we go. Here's one of the ones that I got here. So from Tamayo, 1980. That's not how it works, brainless. No auditor is advocating for being lewd in public. No, just rude in public. They didn't say the rude part. I did. You could see that with homeless people in public. The purpose for auditing is to exercise one's rights along with educating public servants. Can tell this guy is a back the blue clown until the blue happens to him. Oh, you're one of those guys. So here's my response. 7 tenets of frauditing. 1, if a cop reacts to you, they're a tyrant. If they don't react, they're a coward. If a random citizen reacts, then they're a Karen or a snowflake. If no one reacts at all, create a reaction. Use your voice to build a false narrative or to flat out lie. Waste as much of the people's time as is humanly possible and get paid. So that's always fun. Let's see. Oh, and here's another one that's real good. And again, these are in responses to the short I just showed you. Not weird, not real bright, are you? They don't say the buildings are theirs, and they say the buildings are all of ours, we the people. If you knew anything about the Constitution and that the people that work in those buildings are all caps public servants to serve the people, but you keep sucking government butt and licking boots till you have no constitutional rights. Then you won't have the right to use any kind of platform to say what you want to say, and how ignorant and uneducated you are. Back the blue until it happens to you. And my response, this one wasn't as clever. It was just said, I thought the Constitution was amended to take away slavery, but you say public service are to behave as personal slaves to people with cameras. Sounds like you're a communist. I'm trying to find some of the funnier ones. Let's see. Oh, this was the very first negative comment I got in my response. And this is probably my best, or at least most sarcastic one. This is from Melisha Rybeth. I don't know. You're the reason why we're losing freedom every day. We're not losing freedom every day, but okay. It's not against the law to video record in public places. Nobody said it was. Why does that bug you? My response. You made 3 statements there. Let me address them one at a time. You're the reason why we're losing our freedoms every day. Are you still mad at me that I swiped left on you? It's not against the law to video record in public places. Ooh, so how do those frauditor boots taste? Why does that bug you? Because I'm not a vile, evil, worthless, jobless, godless beta. But why are you triggered by it? Same person. You're the one who sounds triggered. Project much. Did I make the video? Well, according to Aristotle, it's the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. So you don't have to accept it. But the first part is for you to have a thought. You should try that sometime. And then I replied to that with the 10 Commandments of frauditing. Thou shalt not use your First Amendment right to film a frauditor. Thou shalt not ask not to be recorded. Thou shalt not ask for ID. Thou shalt not gently touch my camera. Thou shalt not gently touch me. Thou shalt follow my directives and demands like you are my personal slave. Thou shalt not feel anything ever as I have commanded it. Thou shalt not enforce any law or policy that I wish to ignore. Thou shalt believe everything I say because I said it. and thou shalt take my bait and fall for my scam so that I may get paid in a big fat lawsuit. And then just general funny stuff. I got this one when I was talking about the hurricane coming. They said, cover your house with trifolds. That'll stop the wind. Anyway, that was just a little bit of what was been going on with that. But let's get back to looking at what's going on here in the chat with you guys. Susan, you don't have a wrench? The hell's wrong with me? Let me fix that right now. That's unacceptable. I apologize, hon. Can't believe I didn't take care of that a long time ago. All right, let's get this going here. Sorry, I have to do that through YouTube itself, not StreamYard. Let's get that done. Where is it? Let's see. Bam! There you go, hon. You're all set. Sorry about that. Okay, so now let's get back to the stupid. All right. I stand by what I said. A mouth is not a bullhorn, a car is not a shoe, and a camera is not an eyeball. That's right. So let's take a look at that. What Leland Squirrel just said. Good morning, Scott Ammo. Welcome. I almost forgot that like button. So where was it? There was something Leland said I wanted to comment on. All right. A mouth, excuse me. A mouth is not a bullhorn. A car is not a shoe, and a camera is not an eyeball. See, this is the thing in regards to that. So they always say, I can record anything my eyes can see, but they always ignore that with a camera, you could zoom in on stuff and use modern technology to be able to read stuff that you wouldn't be able to see with the naked eye. And another thing I wanted to talk about, actually, and since we're on that, I'll bring it up now, is I've heard Sean Paul Doucheface, or what's his name? Sean Douche Rayface or Ray Sean Douchehammer? Oh, Long Island Audits. Make these sorry excuses that are so stupid. Like, he'll walk into a place and they'll say, hey, and I hear this all the time, right? Excuse me, sir, you can't film in there because there's private information out. Oh, well, isn't it your job to keep that stuff private? That's what I'm doing by telling you not to film in there. They never make that connection in their brain. That's one that to me is absolutely blatantly, purposefully nonsensical crap that is done intentionally, because there's no possible way I could believe that anyone is literally actually stupid enough to believe that. Are you really that dumb? Like, how do you not make the connection when you say, well, it's their job to keep the stuff private, not to understand that, yes, it is. That's why they're telling you not to film it. That's why they're telling you not to film it, because it is their job to keep that stuff private. And then he'll say, well, what if I had glasses on with hidden cameras in them and I was getting the information that way? Well, if you got busted, then you could go to jail. So, yeah, it is a little bit different, because then you're always talking about how, well, I'm not up to any nefarious activity. Yeah, but if you had glasses with hidden cameras on them, then you would be up to nefarious activity. So that's not a good example, douchebag, face, dumb. Back, you're the king. So for those of you who missed it, just earlier, I showed the short I posted yesterday where I said this is a First Amendment audit challenge. And apparently Peck shows up. He's like, sorry, I'm late, guys. I just got out of jail. I was in a public building and told them it was mine. And then I stripped down. Nice challenge, Hezokuai. Oh, I love that. Oh, man. Woo. Oh, man. That's why you need to be careful. People use those whack-a-mole. Peck, you're a genius. Yep. People are using those camera glasses to steal your credit card info at checkouts. Exactly. So she laughed, David. Shut up. Let's see. I love the triggered person in the comments. Yeah, I was just reading the comments from that video. Said that that's what's great about us being the rashers is we're getting under the skin of the frauditors like a rash. Got to sip my sip. I woke up with a sore throat this morning a little bit, so I might be a little hoarse. And I don't mean pony. My little pony, phony baloney. So, that being said, yesterday, was it yesterday or was it this morning? I think it was this morning. Anyway, I watched Kfar video, and he was covering an older News Now Ninja video, and I hadn't seen it before, and I thought it was so awesome that I have to show it here. This isn't Kfar's video. This is the video he was doing, but I love the video I'm about to show you is News Now Ninja, and a cop talks to him, and the cop beat for beat knows exactly what's going on. And News Now Ninja tries to talk circles around this guy, and the cop knows the game. He must watch Frauditor videos as much as we do because he got every single thing done. But before we get into that, let me tell you something, Dave. Yes, I'm looking forward to the Bears versus the Lions. But no matter what happens, I'm going to stick up for my Bears. But you, me, and sassy old great granny could probably go out there right now and beat the Lions. Like, if the Bears lose, it's going to be very disappointing. Because the Lions are like they say the bottom of the barrel and you're scraping the scum off the bottom of the barrel. No, it's like after you lift the barrel up and see all the nonsense garbage critters crawling around underneath it, it's that level of beneath the barrel. Not bottom of the barrel, but beneath the bottom of the barrel. Like, Detroit's terrible, 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 and the Bears better tear them apart. Plus, as many games as the Bears lost this year, they're a divisional team, so that might actually like do something if they win. So we'll see what happens. That's right. Stand up for the Bears, the Bears, all the way down the line. And so now we're going to look at a cop who actually completely understands what these guys are doing and completely calls them out on it, beat for beat, understands what's happening. And it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful to hear how this cop tears this idiot apart, just piece by piece. I love this cop. We gotta go.
And there was a tow truck. 4 police vehicles here.
And one idiot, well, 2 idiots with cameras. He's not alone. For those of you who don't know, News Now Ninja is the same idiot. He's the hippie that went to Uvalde with his dreadlocks and decided to get involved in something that was none of his business. And he's the one who made the biggest hype out of it.
Huh? What'd you say?
So your video's gonna get ratioed, man.
Get ratioed?
Yeah, like it means it gets more dislikes than likes.
Oh no. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not that popular.
You do though, man.
What?
You'll get hammered in the comments section for this stuff.
What do you mean?
Like nobody wants to see y'all like harass the college. Just let us do our job.
I mean, how did I harass you?
Just like come over here, like what are you doing?
I'm just keeping an eye on my government employees.
That's cool. Well, we separated the fight. We kept the lady from getting assaulted.
Sweet. Thanks for letting me know. That's all. Yeah.
Have a good day.
Yeah. What was your name?
Officer Childs.
Childs?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Do you have a badge number?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, we should do the opposite of what News Now is calling for. We should take that information and use it to tell the Galveston Police Department what a great cop this dude is and what a great job he did by calling off this idiot. Yeah, the dislikes being hidden makes it so that doesn't work anymore. But so think about what just happened. This he explained, because that's what I'm saying when I say that this cop obviously knows exactly what frauditors are and how they act, because he immediately, before News Now Ninja has the opportunity to accuse them of extorting people by pulling them over, he says, hey, that lady was just about to get beat up and we just saved her from getting beat up. Like, we're coming here to legitimately help someone that was in danger of physical harm, and we helped them, right? It's like he's already telling them, hey, listen, letting you know, because you're saying you're here to watch us. Why are you here to watch us? To make sure we're not violating people's rights or doing this or doing that. We just saw this lady was about to get beat up and we stopped it and we saved her from getting her ass beat. So have a nice day. Now get the frick out of here. That ain't going to happen, is it? Not with a frauditor. No.
Yeah, 494.
Thank you. Yeah, remember, there's good and bad in every profession.
I hope it doesn't
So
get demonetized.
just because you see,
If it gets demonetized,
so you want to be a smart ass. That's all you want to do?
Videos get demonetized, you keep doing it?
Like I was just saying, there's good and bad in every profession, and you're obviously a bad cop because I'm respectable, and you just talking shit. You're talking shit to me. You don't even know me.
You don't respect anybody, News Now Ninja.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, it's annoying.
It's annoying?
Yeah.
Well, good.
Where do you work?
You're annoying.
Where do you work?
You're annoying.
Where do you work? Can I come in there with the video camera?
Yeah, I work right here. I'm at work right now.
So you don't have a
So,
job.
yeah, you actually harass me at work all the time. What do you do? Yeah. Well, you also run scanners and pull people over. It's called revenue generation. Whenever you just harass people for ticket money.
I don't get money if I
And you want to call this harassment, but what do you call it?
I'm sitting in the car. How am I harassing you? You're standing here.
You literally went over your walkie to talk shit to me, to get me over here. Yeah, you talked to your microphone to try to talk shit about monetization about a video.
Yeah, because you'll get paid.
Because you're butthurt.
Not butthurt.
Yeah,
You're the one who sounds like your feelings are hurt,
Because he's
News
a
Now
butthurt
Ninja.
public employee.
When,
A coward, probably.
when he hurt my feelings. When.
He said it's annoying. He said it's annoying.
No one's stopping you.
No, but you're talking
It's
shit.
not my fault. Your channel sucks.
You're representing the police department.
I love
you're
this
talking
cop.
shit to someone
Let's
and
go
you're supposed
back.
to be
Let's go back.
representing
Let's
the
go
guy.
back. I love this cop.
A coward, probably.
Oh man.
He said
No
it's
one's
annoying.
stopping you.
He
No
said it's
one's-
annoying.
No one's stopping you.
No, but you're talking
It's
shit.
not my fault. Your channel sucks.
He said it's
one's
annoying.
stopping you.
He
No
said it's
one's-
annoying.
No one's stopping you.
No, but you're talking
It's
shit.
not my fault. Your channel sucks.
He said
No
it's
one's stopping
annoying.
you.
He
No
said it's
one's-
annoying.
No one's stopping you.
No, but you're talking
It's
shit.
not my fault. Your channel sucks.
You're representing the police department.
I
You're
love
talking
this
shit to
cop.
someone, and you're supposed to be representing the Galveston Police Department.
Your video's gonna get ratioed. Nobody
How?
likes this stuff. No one believes you.
Everybody's gonna love watching you
Everyone knows
talk
we're out
shit
here
and look
doing
like an
our job.
idiot.
Everyone knows we're out here doing our job, and you're harassing us.
I'm harassing by
Yes.
videoing.
We stopped someone from getting
So
assaulted.
what about that camera up there on the gas station? Is that harassing you?
Private business.
And this is protecting me.
How? I'm in a car. I'm not even bothering you.
Yeah, you are when you went over your walkie-talkie to talk shit, and then I came over here and I tried to be respectful with you, and you just wouldn't be respectful. I was trying to tell you that there's good and bad in every profession, and not everybody that carries a camera is out here to start shit, man. I was standing back.
Well, yeah,
I was
but he
standing back
knows who
minding my
you
own
are,
fucking business until
obviously.
you started talking
Go
shit.
film politicians. Go
Why?
film doctors for
Why?
malpractice.
No, I start with the peons. You.
I'm not a peon.
Yeah, you are. You're a police officer.
So you don't like cops?
Who said that?
You did.
Yeah, but you're the bottom of the barrel. You understand? You're telling me to go video politicians.
Yeah,
they're above you.
Don't kill people on the street. Yeah,
You kill people on the
They
street.
kill people across the world.
Yeah, and you just take your orders, right? You ever heard of the Nuremberg trials?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, the people that just took orders ended up getting put to death as well. So how many orders are you going to take, and how long are you going to keep pushing the tyranny and just taking orders and being a tyrant?
I'm not being a tyrant.
Yeah, you are. You got over your walkie-talkie to
I'm
talk
from
shit
here.
to
Where
me.
are you from?
I'm born and raised here.
So am I. I went to Ball High.
Okay, so what's the point of talking shit to me? I have a camera. I was standing back here minding my own fucking business, dude, until you...
Way to make money.
How is it cheap?
Because you're just standing on the side of the corner while we're actually working to make the community a better
You know how much all these... I'm carrying over $2,000 in my hand. How is that cheap?
Hold on. We're out here working to make the community a better place, and you're out here trying to tear everything down.
With a camera.
Attributing motives to
How
me.
can I tear it down with a camera? Explain it.
That's your goal in life. You just said this is your job, that you're working right now. What do you mean? Your entire goal in life is to see, this is what I'm saying. Everything that the cop is saying is basically, without saying it, he's saying, I know this dude. I know what he does. And I'm not going to just sit here and accept what he says as fact because I know what he's doing. Well, why would you say that I hate cops? Well, because you're News Now Ninja. Duh. Like, who doesn't know that you hate cops? Well, how do you know that I'm just doing this for? Because it's you. Duh. Of course, everyone knows that that's what you're doing. This cop calls him out on everything, and the cop is so right. Everything he says is 100% factually accurate. And News Now Ninja doesn't know what to do with it, so he just keeps throwing ad hominems and insults and talking crap and being a butthurt little crybaby, talking about feelings don't matter, feelings don't matter, feelings don't matter. Unless it's his feelings, then they matter. Then it matters. You hurt the frauditor's feelings, then feelings matter. But if a frauditor hurts someone else's feelings, feelings don't matter. Talk about a beta male.
What do you mean motives?
You're saying that I'm out here, doing harm?
No, I came over here to find out what was going on, and then you talk shit showing me that you were a tyrant.
I said your videos don't get demonetized because you're doing this for money.
No, it's not going to get demonetized.
How many times have you made these videos?
Hundreds of videos.
How many times have you found officers doing malfeasance? Or
Huh?
doing something not supposed to be done?
I've had police chiefs send me their resignation before they turn into the city because I caught a little 13-year-old.
When?
Right?
What city?
This was last year. And I also had a mayor quit after I exposed him for being a pedophile as well. So you're trying to act, are you one of those cops that think there's no corruption in the system? Cops don't get hurt because of there's no corruption in the system.
I actually agree with that.
Do you think there's
All
no
right, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
This was
Check this
turning
out.
into the
Check this out.
Huh? Hundreds of videos.
How many
No, it's not going to get demonetized.
times have you made these videos?
Hundreds of videos.
How many times have you found officers doing malfeasance? Or
Huh?
doing something not supposed to be done?
I've had police chiefs send me their resignation before they turn into the city because I caught a little 13-year-old.
When?
Right?
What city?
This was last year. And I also had a mayor quit after I exposed him for being a pedophile as well.
All right. So, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Let's give News Now Ninja the benefit of the doubt and say that he's being absolutely honest right now, and everything he just said is true. So let's break that down. How many videos have you made? And I'll rewind it again to make sure that you guys understand fully that I'm not taking anything out of context, that this is the conversation that was just had. How many videos have you made? Hundreds. How many officers in your hundreds of videos, how many officers have you caught getting into malfeasance or whatever? How many cops have you caught doing something wrong? Well, I had a cop send me his resignation last year. And then I had a mayor. Oh, wait, a mayor's not a cop. So your answer is 1. I've done hundreds of videos. Okay, and how many of those videos because you're trying to prove that cops are evil, have you done that show a cop doing something bad? One. The other one is a mayor. So all of these horrible, evil cops that you're filming to expose how horrible and evil there are, you exposed one. And we don't even know the story behind that. Even if he is telling the truth that the guy resigned over something that News Now Ninja uncovered, how do we know he uncovered it by doing this? Did he videotape the cop doing something illicit? Or did he, like Rogue Nation always brags about, some subscriber, anonymous subscriber, sent him some information, so he isn't even the guy who dug up the information, whoever sent it to him is. We don't know. And of course, he's not going to tell that story.
So you're trying to act, are those cops that think there's no corruption in the system? Cops don't get hurt because of there's no corruption in the system.
I actually agree with that.
Do you think there's no corruption in the system?
No, sure
There is corruption. So that's why I'm out here videoing, dude. That's all. That's all.
You just said we're the peons.
Yeah, because you're the bottom of the barrel.
Why don't you start with the bosses?
Because you're the ones out here on the street hurting
Because
people.
We're the ones you can make a buck off of.
No, you're the ones out here. I went to several departments. The sheriffs did fine today.
That's great.
The sheriffs did great, but I got told that the local PD was trash, and I've been proven right now.
Because I said your video is going to get demonetized?
All you can do is talk shit, and you're representing your city, dude. You're supposed to look, protect with respect.
Exactly.
Are you considering yourself respectful?
Sure.
By talking shit to a member of the press?
You're not a member of the
Yeah,
press.
it's called free press. It's free press. You ever heard of the Constitution?
Okay, man. That's what do you want? Like,
You asked me to come over here talking shit through your walkie-talkie. What do you want?
Your video's going to get demonetized.
Why? Is it gonna? What's the point of saying that?
Because the community doesn't agree with you.
Yeah.
The community
How do you know that?
Because the community here supports
You think the community here supports you?
Yeah.
Have you looked at your reviews online?
I didn't know we were bed and breakfast.
Dude, the community here does not respect you. They fear you
I'm not
because
a
you
bed
carry
and
a gun
breakfast.
I hear it
and a
goes to
badge.
protect myself
They
and
put on a
my
fake mask to pretend that they like you so you don't beat them up and kill them like everybody
You
else.
have a lot of presuppositions for this. If you're going to be a member of the press, I would suggest you be more objective.
No. I don't have to be objective. I can carry myself any way I want, Childs. And you ended up with the name Childs because you're a big child.
Who's acted like a child? I love that. And I love the fact that, because these guys always throw out there that I'm a member of the press, right? So what does the officer do to respond to him? If you're a member of the press, shouldn't you be objective? I don't need to be objective. And then for those of you who don't know, I'll make it big again. That's what he looks like. This is the big superhero right here, Mr. Dreadlocks, Dr. Douchehammer Sauce. Unclean Hands, what's up? Google and Yelp for the police, yeah. But like I say, I found this video through KFAR, and I just thought I had to share it here too, because the conversation they had, every single thing the police officer said was 100% factually accurate. He's like, if they still counted the dislikes, you'd get more dislikes than likes. If you keep acting like this, you're going to get demonetized. But that's all. That what he actually said, because of course Ninja keeps trying to twist his words, because that's what frauditors do. What he actually said was, let me ask you something. If your videos got all demonetized, would you still be doing this? That's what the cop asked him. And then immediately he starts, this is what blows my mind with these guys so often. And that's another reason why I wanted to show this video, because it's such a beautiful example, perfect example of feelings don't matter unless you say something to hurt the frauditor's feelings. If the frauditor says things to hurt your feelings, feelings don't matter. If you say something to hurt their feelings, they're so offended. Oh, how dare you speak that way to me? I can't believe you would say those words to me. I thought you were supposed to be professional. Where's my mommy? He hurt my feelings. These guys are horrible, 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 horrible douchebags. Douchebags. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Miss Mandy's in the house. What's up? Good to see you. And we also got unclean hands. We got so many wonderful people here. Go back through the hellos just in case, for people who joined after I said my hellos this morning. Kim Crawford, forgiven Jerry. I did get your email, but we'll talk about that in the future. Right now, today, I'm not really planning on doing a panel thing, but they'll be coming. They'll be coming. But it's not you. It's just I'm not doing that today. Me, the forgiven Jerry, Donna Ray, Miss Mandy, Edward. Did I miss anybody else? Susan. Yeah, I think I acknowledged everybody else that's here. Commentator, auditor, what's up? Michael Landis, hey. William Graber, yeah. So anyway, it would have been funny if the cop said, "Sorry, I'm not the feelings police." Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I keep saying that I really, really wish that I could find out when and where these guys were going to go before they showed up so I could be there and I could audit them. That would be the gem. That would be like the ultimate, to actually go out and do a First Amendment audit of a First Amendment auditor. And I know there's the channel Audit the Audit where they kind of do that, but I mean to actually hit the street and walk up to them and to film them. And I always said that I would love to. No, me, you can't like twice because that second time makes it a dislike or removes the first like. The third one works because that puts it back on the like. Hashtag rise and shine with Hezokuai. You'd have to follow their Facebook lives to find out where they are. Oh man, see, that would be the ultimate goal. Because what's awesome is because when I see situations like this, and this is why I bring it up, because that situation we just watched with that cop, he's obviously, bring me with Michael Landis says, they obviously know what these guys are and what they're about. But people like me, and I would assume most of you guys, we know their script so well. I am so well versed in their script that I know for a fact I could tear them apart verbally, because I know exactly what they're going to do and how they're going to do it and the way that they're going to try to twist words and confuse me and all this other. Man, it would be so good. I have several different, and I would have to do it more than once because I have several different ideas of how I want to do it, but it isn't until I actually do it a couple times that I see which method works the best. One of the ideas that I had was to handle it almost like a news reporter on the scene, right? Like they run up with their camera and they see whatever it is. I don't know, a water main break. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news tonight. We have a spicy peach. What's up? We got a broken main here and it's flooding the streets. So as you can see, we're on 23rd Avenue and right, like they're narrating the report as just not in any way interjecting themselves into what's happening, right? So one of my ideas was to take that approach, like to walk up to them and say, "Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, we have an idiot on the corner with a camera, and it looks like he's harassing an old lady. Oh my goodness!" And now I'd like just narrating what they're doing as if they're like an animal or in the wild, and I'm watching them, Now somebody said, Delete Clause said, porn bomb their live streams. That's the second thing that I was thinking of. Like if they're like really if it was somebody like really, really bad or whatever, or really harassing people, just pulling up porn on the phone and, just walking up to them while they're filming you, have some porn up on your phone and go, hey, what's up? Hey, I don't want you to film me. We want to film this. And now they can't. Not only would they be demonetized, they can't even post the video at all because you just ruined it by sticking that in their face. And like you said, if they were on a live stream, that would absolutely destroy their channel. It would be beautiful. American Trucker. If they put a camera in my face, I'd hit him so hard it'd knock the crack out of his backside. Have a wonderful day. Yes. That'd be so good. The other thing that was, can you make it my Peck's like, can you use the porns that I'm in as your? Oh, that's funny. Never. Okay, forget it. I have a sense of humor, right? I like to joke around, but usually at the expense of the frauditors, not the expense of my fans. But let's just say that you opened the door, Packet, but I chose not to walk through it. I could have knocked that one out of the park, but I don't want to offend you. But they could blur it out too if they're not streaming. Good. Make them actually do some work. You want to brag about how we don't do anything, even though editing your videos into something that's actually watchable actually is a lot of work. Unclean Hands could vouch for that. And you just standing out there harassing people and then uploading it, there's no work at all. If I did that, at the very least, I'd make them earn some of their money by actually having to edit their video. I've seen workers try to play music. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. And I've mentioned this too, is that I've seen videos, plenty of videos, and I even made my, not this year, but last year's Halloween video was about that. It was the video, it was like a zombie apocalypse type scenario, but instead of zombies, it was frauditors. And the only weapon you could use against them was copywritten music. You play copywritten music and then it makes them back off. And I've seen videos where people play copywritten music to try and get these guys to shut up. Unfortunately, although that seems like a great idea, it backfires, because I've actually seen a video where a bunch of frauditors were filming some cops, and they purposely went out of their way to play copywritten music to stop the frauditor. And then the frauditor filed a complaint, and the cops actually did get in trouble for doing that, because the neighbors were calling the police department saying that these cops are out here blasting this loud music. I'm trying to sleep. What the hell's going on? So the cops actually got in trouble. So you got to watch that. You got to watch that. It could be dangerous. But like I said, the handling them like they're not human, and I'm reporting on their behavior almost like a nature documentary or like a real news story. Just, oh, and ladies and gentlemen, here's this guy harassing people and giving people a hard time with his camera would be fun. The other thing that I thought would be really fun, and this is what I really would love to do, but again, I actually have part of the idea of these different ideas of how I want to handle it. What's up, Mike? Depend on who I'm dealing with, right? Like if I'm outside and I actually see Amagansett Press in the wild, I'm going to deal with him completely differently than I am if I go out and I see SGV in the wild, because SGV deserves negative respect, right? And I also know that he's real quick on the trigger finger with the trigger finger with the pepper spray. So I would have to handle that completely different, right? Those would be the kind of ones that I'd porn bomb their streams and try to get them, on Frauditor News Frauditor News Network. Welcome, good to see ya. Hello, how are you? Great to have you here. Thanks for the support. Love it. Love you. Love all you guys. But the third option, which is the one that I would really love to dig into, is if I see someone out there, what I would do, and this is my main thing that I would love to do to one of these guys more than anything else. Like I said, if we're talking about someone who is way over the line, going out of their way to be a jerk, I would use the porn bomb thing to try and destroy their audit, right? But if it was, someone like Am Against the Press or something like that, what I would love to do is I'd like to, or Auditing America or Fake Mike, those guys, those are the kind of guys that I would love to just walk up to them with my camera and walk up really, really close and go like this. Now, number one, that's a very specific thing that I just said for a very specific intent. I would walk up close to them, filming them. That is very important because they're always trying to bait people into reacting. So, Hezokuai, the Frauditor reporter, dude, I got to start finding where these guys are and start doing that and, getting on there. And I could even start a new channel, Hezokuai, the Frauditor reporter, just going around auditing auditors. That's a great idea, Luna. But I'd get really close because they will be forced to react, just like they force the cops to react by auditing private citizens until the private citizens call the cops, and then the cops have to respond to the call. So I would get right up close to them to where they would have to respond and say something about me standing too close, which opens the door for me to say, is standing close a felony or a misdemeanor? Where in the Constitution does it say how close I have to stand? I mean, there's a million different things I could say. Are you going to be a tyrant and tell me where I can or can't stand on a public place? I'm just exercising my right to film in public. What are you, anti-First Amendment? How dare you tell me that I can't stand here and film you? And to totally flip everything they say right back on them. And because I know their script so well, I would easily be able to flip anything they say. Hey, step back. Oh, you can't tell me what to do, you tyrant. This is a public place. Hey, man, get your camera out of my face. Oh, what are you trying to violate my First Amendment right to film? Do you hate America? Do you hate the First Amendment? What are you, some kind of a tyrant? Did you tell me where to go, where I can't go, this, that, and the other? And then when they start trying to just blow me off and then go about their business, I'm constantly going to make sure that I'm in front of them. Constantly make sure that I'm in front of them. And if they try to walk in somewhere, I'm going to make sure that I'm standing in front of them. Hey, you're blocking my path. Hey, I'm in public and you're telling me where to stand. I can stand here if I want to stand here. Yeah, but you're blocking the door. Who are you to tell me that I'm blocking the door? I'll even start twisting it to the extent that they twist stuff. Like, dude, you're impeding my movement. No, I'm not. What are you talking about? You're standing in the doorway. No, I'm not. Dude, you're right there. You're in the door. No, I'm not. You're harassing me. No, I'm not. You're bothering these people. No, I'm not. I'm just exercising my First Amendment right. So I'll stand in the doorway of the place they're trying to audit. You're impeding my movement. No, I'm not. I'm just exercising my First Amendment right to film in public. And that's the key. I have to have this up the whole time because that's their shield is the phone, right? Is the camera. So what are you doing? I'm exercising my First Amendment right to film in public. Yeah, but you're impeding my movement. No, I'm not. I'm exercising my First Amendment right to film in public. Oh, well, let me pass. Well, if you touch me, that's assault. If you touch my camera, that's assault. I'll call the cops and I'll have you thrown in jail for assault. And if they actually do something, then that is assault. And then we could get them locked up. I'll handle my own safety. Yeah, right. Chris Jackson in the house. What's up, Chris? Number 2 level Frauditor. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, because I'm the leader of the Moors, so he's my number 2 man. And for those of you who aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, I'm going to share this with you all real quick because I know there was a period of time where I really wasn't too keen on the idea of showing my own videos. Like I felt like I was being humble, I wasn't feeling it. I am. I can't help it. I don't gloat on my own stuff. But my channel is growing and I'm getting more and more people. So there's definitely a chance that a lot of people have never seen this before. So I am going to go ahead and play it real quick for those of you who don't understand what Chris is talking about with his reference to the Moors and why he's saying that specifically to me. I'm going to show you right now. Just give me a moment. And this was another one, by the way. There were several videos, and I'm not trying to gloat. I'm just saying because anytime that somebody who deserves credit needs the credit, especially in a situation like this, I'm not doing this because I'm name dropping or this and that. I am to honor the memory. I'm making sure that it's clear that everyone understands that this video I'm about to show was one of Schrodinger Cat's favorite videos of mine that he featured on his channel once. It was an honor to see him show several of my videos on his show, and this was one of them. It was an honor. I love that man. He was the best. All right, so let's get into that and show this video to you guys. Come on now. There we go. Can you guys see that? All right.
As of this moment, I am no longer Hezokuai. I am Hezokuai Divan Dicky El Bey. I am the new leader of the Moorish revolution, and I have proof. I have a piece of paper that says I'm the leader, and I took it to the cash checking place on the corner, and I got it notarized, and then I took a copy of the notarized version, and I brought it with me to City Hall, and I gave it to one of the janitors there. So City Hall has a copy, I have a copy, I have a piece of paper, and I have a hat. Therefore, I am now the new leader of the Moorish revolution. And I, as the new leader of the Moorish revolution, have the ultimate plan. You see, the corporation of the United States of America, the way they control us is through the money. So what you have to do, my first order of business is to give you the order. You see, as a Moor, there's no such thing as stealing, because everything in this country belongs to us anyway. So if you take something, you're taking what's already yours. See? So I don't care how you get it. But what you need to do to prove to these guys that we're serious is get all the money you can and send it to me on PayPal, for the cause. And it'll be great. I'll make sure that all the money goes to all the right places. So go ahead and just get as much money as you can together, sell everything you own, get tons of cash, and send it to me on PayPal, and I'll take care of everything. Don't you worry about it. I'm the new leader of the Moorish, so I'm giving you an order. You send that money to me, and everything will be fine.
Mute. I'm on mute. I'm not on mute anymore, but I was. Hello, Stanley. Welcome to the show. Good to see you, my friend. Love my morning crew. You guys are always the best for me. You always make my mornings happy, no matter what kind of mood I'm in, no matter what's going on in my life. I come on. That's one of the reasons why, and I'm just being straight, totally straight with you guys. That's because in that video, Peck, yeah. That was part of the gag, actually, but also, to be perfectly honest, if you really watch that video closely with this in mind, you'll see it. I went in the bathroom because my kids wouldn't shut the hell up, and at one point while I'm talking, I'm like, "And I, Hezokuai, the leader of the." If you hear the kids, And I'm reacting to them because they're right outside the door. They won't leave me the hell alone. Hezokuai El Kool-Aid Tropical Blast Hat. I wasn't into, like, I don't really get too deep into the Moor thing at this point. I'm still waiting with bated breath for the rise of the Moors that got in trouble for having guns on the side of the road and all that, for their trial. It still hasn't happened yet. They've been fighting back and forth with all the pre-trial stuff and the motions and the hearings and this and that. I want the trial, man. I want to cover the trial when those guys get hit. Yeah, that's scary stuff, man. Those guys are on another level. Like, you could talk about sovereign citizens and frauditors all you want, but the Moors, they're from another planet, man. Like, they don't even think that this is America. They think we're in Morocco. And I always said this. I would love to see a group of American Moors go to Morocco and see how long the Moroccan government's going to put up with their nonsense. Oh, man. Have I ever heard of a channel called Good Job Buddy? No. Is it a good channel, buddy? Let's see. Good job, buddy. All right, good job, buddy. Yeah, I get it. I know what it means. I just ain't heard of it. I mean, the channel. Let's see. Good buddy. Good job, buddy. Oh. What is this? What is this? A dude beating up his mother. What? Oh, wait, they got a whole bunch of... Oh, this guy covers De Castro. Okay. You know, it's gotten to a point now where Chile is... Oh, he's one of Chile's moms. Oh, okay. That's one of the things, too, in general, that I've noticed with this whole Chile De Castro thing, is that it's gotten so bad with him that it's gotten to a point where it isn't even us and the people on the other side of the fence both coming together to hate him, but people who don't know anything about this scene at all are seeing his videos and saying, who the hell is this idiot? And even they can tell he's stupid as a rock. Oh, man. I got it unclean here. I'll drop it real quick. I just found it. Because it does look really interesting. Who's AFK? What happened? Hearing Jose on back porch from in front of the house. A neighbor hears Cholito. So hearing Jose on the back porch from the front of the house. Let's see. Well, yeah, but seeing where it's not just another standard one of the videos that you always see where they just break down his videos, but something where it's actually original footage of him, that is a little bit different. Let's see. I don't know. Let's go home. Let's go to search. And what is it? It's hearing Jose on back porch. All right. Let's pull that up. All right, here we go. It's nice and short too. All right, let's see what this is. I still have Articulo. Welcome, hello, good to see you. Rocks have more value as paperweights than Chile does as a human. Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, it looks like the volume on this is going to be pretty low. I got it maxed out, so let's see what happens.
We're out front. Amazing how loud. Crazy. Can hear my way down the street. It's like midnight. It's like midnight. And that's just as normal. Well, it's a little louder. God, dude. Everybody who would be outside would hear this.
And he's just talking about money, of course. Nice. Chili's such a douchebag. Thank you for sharing, Leland. That was kind of fun. I get the idea. Like, you could barely hear what he was saying, but the fact that you could hear him from how far away that guy was standing is the point. Let's see. Turn up YouTube menu, but well, that's the kind of video that like I could download and then I could pump the volume in my editor. What's up, Debo's Nation? Good to see ya. I got your email. I'm going to get back to you. I just, with everything that's been going on, like I said, we had the hurricane run through here yesterday and stuff. I haven't had time to really get on the internet too much. Honestly, I've been doing like my stream and then shut the computer off and don't even turn it on until it's today when it came time to do my next stream. I haven't even looked at the computer in between. Well, maybe, did I show up on anybody's stream yesterday? Oh, yeah. You know what happened? I was on the internet for a minute because I wanted to see if I'd missed anything important because I hadn't been on all day. And I saw that Broken System was live again. And then I thought, I'd go in there and troll him. And then I forgot that his boyfriend has me blocked. So I went in there, I said something, and then I remembered I was blocked. And then that was it. I just left. Whatever. These guys, man, these guys are so terrible. I wanted to talk today. The subject I wanted to sort of really get into was this idea of like a lot of people talk about Scriptcat's really good for this, trying to get into the psychology of how these people's minds work and trying to figure out on a psychological level what's actually going on in their heads. And I started thinking about people like, for example, Rogue Nation, and the idea that like he'll walk up to a woman, this big man will walk up to a woman, and if she says, I feel uncomfortable, not only is it bad enough that he will, and all of these guys do this, right? If a woman says that they feel uncomfortable being filmed, they will not only ignore the fact that their big, tough, hardcore man is so big and so tough and so hardcore that he could make a woman, a vulnerable woman who's at work, feel uncomfortable. Ooh, man, I made a woman feel uncomfortable. Yes. Power. Give me the power over women. That's what I want. But in the case of someone like Rogue Nation, for example, he escalates it and makes it even worse by celebrating the fact that he made her feel bad and making fun of her for feeling bad. So it's like, first of all, because I'm a big man, was able to make a woman feel uncomfortable, and then on top of that, make fun of her for feeling uncomfortable and offer her salve for her wounds, or telling her to point on the doll of where it hurts, because I'm a man, I'm a manly man, and I love making women feel uncomfortable and making fun of them for feeling uncomfortable, because that's what men do. Like, what's the psychology? Like, legitimately, what's the psychology? Like, if you're trying to break it down on a psychological level, what you're talking about is a man who needs to forgive his mother. That's what it comes down to. That's why you hate women, right? That's why these guys hate women so much. That's why these guys target women so much. It's not just because women are an easy target. It's because there's something psychologically in their brain that makes them so misogynistic that they purposely go out of their way to go somewhere and film a woman, because they do it in every single video. So they know they go in and make a woman feel uncomfortable on purpose to cause discomfort to the woman, because they hate women, or because they hate their mother, or because for whatever reason it just makes them feel more like a man to make women feel bad. They get off on it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's a sexual thing. Maybe they need to make peace with their mother. Maybe someone broke their heart once and they're just taking it out on all women for the rest of their lives, and then using freedom and liberty as an excuse to try and dominate the emotions of females, because as a man, that's what you got to do, is dominate the emotions of females and make fun of them for having them. So it looks like we got Corrections 101 in the house. What's up? Let's see. That does seem to be their favorite pastime. It is. It really is. It's the more of these videos I watch, the more I see that same pattern. It's like, if you walk into a building filming and the woman who's working behind the counter says, I don't feel comfortable being recorded, and you say, wait a play the woman card. Women are too emotional to handle it. Is that what you're saying? No, what I'm saying is that little bitty tiny men that want to feel big go after women because they get off on it, because it makes them feel like they have power by being able to manipulate the emotions of a woman. Not that women have a problem because they're emotional, but that men who purposely go out of their way to manipulate a woman's emotions in the negative and laugh about it and joke about it and pull out little dolls and say, tell me where it hurts about it, are misogynistic. Like a psychologist, I would look at that and I would say, instead of getting emotional myself, I'd be logical and I'd say, okay, so this is a man who, like I said, probably hates his mother, probably needs to make peace with himself first, because obviously he derives pleasure from hurting women, and that's why he does this. And using liberty and freedom and justice and the First Amendment as an excuse to do this to women is even, well, that's where the narcissism comes from. So to actually psychoanalyze these people it actually becomes really fascinating when you look at their actions and think, what would drive a man to do this to a woman once, twice, 10 times, every single day, and build an entire YouTube channel around it? There has to be some sort of male ego dominating women and getting off on that domination, that misogynistic behavior that gives them some sort of power, some feeling of power, that they get addicted to the rush, right? They just love doing that. And that's why they keep doing it. Because why would he do that? Why would any of these guys do that? It doesn't make sense. And yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just because this is the thing. Like, people on our end like to throw out the word narcissism a lot, and that's definitely a common trait among all frauditors is narcissism. But the more I watch these videos, the more I start to notice the pattern of people who go into private businesses giving the women in the private businesses a hard time, targeting the women. Why? Well, because they know that the women are going to say they feel uncomfortable being recorded by some random man. Like, obviously, a woman isn't going to feel comfortable being recorded by a random man. So, being a random man, go into the building and record the women because you know that that's going to make them feel uncomfortable. And once they do feel uncomfortable, then you make fun of them for feeling uncomfortable, right? Because you can't handle, or because a person in that position, why would they do that unless it gives them some sort of sensation of power, of power over women, being able to manipulate and control the emotions of a woman. And like, people say, well, women are more emotional. Well, that's why these guys target women, because they're trying to control their emotions, and they think it's funny. They laugh about it. When a woman is upset about it, they like to make fun of them for being upset. These guys are, I don't even know if I want to call them men. I mean, they're males, but maybe that's, you know what, maybe that's what this whole, because I don't want to get into this whole debate that we've been having the last few years with the trans and all that, but maybe that's what they mean by separating like male and man, like sex and gender are two different things. Maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe these guys are gender neutral, but they're physically men, but the way they treat women is like they're trying to be a man, but they don't know what a man is, right? They think that dominating women and harassing women and manipulating their emotions somehow makes them more of a man, when in reality, it just makes them more of a misogynistic idiot. But again, trying to not talk about insults, talk about actual psychoanalytical looking at the idea, right? Again, what we're talking about is men who, whether they get off sexually or if it's a power trip thing or whatever, they get off on manipulating the emotions of women, and in some cases teasing the women for having emotions and then attacking them for it. And most abhorrent of all is taking our freedom, our constitution, our liberty, our justice, and using that as an excuse to manipulate and harass and try to get off on their feeling more manly because they can control the emotions of women. Like, that's why I love that clip that I showed of Bay Area Transparency when he's like, when we talk to the cops, we control their emotions. We're the puppet masters, right? It's all about power. Like, again, it's real easy for us to just say, oh, they're narcissists. Oh, they're just in it for the money. But it's more complex than that. It isn't just about money, of course, although that's a big part of it. And it isn't just about narcissism, although that also is a very big part of it. But it's also about that feeling of power, being able to manipulate and control other people's feelings and emotions and ideas. And that's where the whole sort of con man technique with the fast talking and the confusing them on purpose and throwing them off and all that all comes in. That's not just part of the game, because on the surface, it's the part of the game where they do that to try and bait people into saying something that's technically incorrect, right? P Barnes II, what's up? So, again, you come out and you use these fast talking in circles techniques to get them braining off, to get them discombobulated. And because of that discombobulation, because you ask a question, and while their mind is formulating an answer, before they have a chance to do that, you're already asking a completely different question, which makes their different ideas clash, which is a normal thing. It doesn't mean they're an idiot. No, that's why con men use that technique, because it's a thing, right? So you take the old con man technique of answering questions with questions and making them try to put their mind on 17 different things at a time. The basic surface level idea of why that's done is so that while they're confused, they may accidentally misspeak. And then if whatever you're doing, what's up, KFAR, ends up going to court, then you will have those words that you can say, oh, but he said blah, blah, blah. Well, the only reason he said blah, blah, blah is because you tried to manipulate and control, because you're the puppet master, right? To make him say something that you could use against him, right? It's all a game. It's all a trick. But that's just on the surface level. Beneath is the feeling of control, the feeling of power. That's what it's not just about. It is, again, the money's there, the narcissism is there. That's all part of it. But on a much deeper level, it's the feeling of power they get from manipulating the emotions of women, especially, but of anyone. They get this power trip. They get this adrenaline rush. They get off on it. Like, it makes them feel good. If the smaller they make you feel, the bigger it makes them feel, right? And of course, they're not big at all. They're tiny little insignificant nothings, which is why it's so important for them to make themselves feel bigger by making the people they're auditing feel small. And that's really what's going on here. Again, yeah, the money's nice. Yeah, the constitutional rights, whatever. That's all part of it. But the reality of it, if you look at it on a psychological level, what are they doing? They're getting this power rush, this control rush out of making other people feel small. The smaller you can make someone else feel, the bigger you make yourself feel, right? It's like those bullies. They're bullies. I just figured it out. They're bullies. Duh. It comes full circle. We've been calling them bullies all this time. Now I'm digging deeper and digging deeper. And what do I find when I get to the bottom? They're bullies. That's it. They grab their cameras, they film themselves bullying people, and they post it online. Hip, hip, hooray. Thank God for the USA. And what's funny is they do this, and they say they're doing it to build transparency and to do all this noble nonsense that none of what they do has anything to do with nobility. It has to do with control, manipulation, narcissism, misogyny, personal vendettas, being butthurt because you got arrested for something at some point, so you're going to just go after cops for the rest of your life. All this other nonsense that has nothing to do with any of the things they purport to be about. So, I don't know, man. This scumbag's gonna scum. Yep, it's Veterans Day. Got my God bless the USA. This is actually, I don't know if you could tell, but this is basically like if I had the hat, right? This is like the Uncle Sam uniform, and then my head is the Uncle Sam. Anyway, let's see. Happy Veterans Day, except for the people who intentionally did meth to get kicked out of the. Oh boy. They say it's all about transparency until it comes to them. Then they're a closed and locked bank vault. Yeah. Yes. Good morning, NCR News Network. Yeah, that's exactly right, Kfar. It's like we want transparency. We want all the information. We want to FOIA every single person's cell phone so that we could dig through everyone's stuff and look at everyone's salary and everyone's work and the day they got hired and the training they did and the oaths of office. We want to see everything, but I won't even tell you my name. You'd have to show me literally every single aspect of your life that has ever happened on paper, in writing, immediately upon my demand, but I won't even tell you my name. I'm good citizen. So where's the transparency? Where's the transparency for you guys? Where's the transparency? If transparency is so important to you, where's yours? Peck. I didn't start meth until after I was done. ATV Thunder. Thunder. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Good morning, Kfar. From Delete Clause. Full name, address, past employment. Yep. Everything. They want every question they ask to be answered upon demand immediately. But if anyone asks them a question, they're not going to say anything. They're not even going to tell you the name of their channel. Speaking of yesterday with the BSBT thing, because I see that coming up a little bit in the chat. I was saying earlier that he was on last night, and I only logged on the internet for a few minutes all day yesterday, and I saw he was on. So I looked at it, and then I started trying to troll him. I forgot that I'd been blocked. So I didn't stay. I just left. But for the minute or so I was there, I did hear what they were talking about. And you want to talk about an echo chamber? Holy cow. It's like, it's amazing to me the way that, well, I guess these days I shouldn't be amazed, right? Because everyone's trying to redefine everything. The way that these guys back each other up on their stupidity and reinforce it is so amazing to me, because it's like, okay, so let's take all facts, FACTS, facts about why, what's up, Blue Vaughn, about why traffic laws exist. Let's take every actual, real, logical reason why traffic laws exist, all of the truth, all of the history, all of the logic. Let's take all that, we'll take it and throw it in the fireplace and burn it and say the only reason they exist is because it starts here. It starts here. Because the armed blue line thugs, right? You call them that, and then your friends call them that, and then your other friends call them that, and you all start saying that so much that people start believing that that's what they are, right? You can't say cops. You have to say thugs. You have to say tyrants. You have to say blue line gang, because you're trying to sell this narrative that ignores everything about what police actually do and looks only at your version of your narrative. That's a false narrative, because you're just putting every single cop who's ever lived into that group that you invented. It's a group that your group invented in your echo chamber of saying this over and over and over and over. So then you start with that, And then you move on, and they talk about how these thugs are the only reason traffic laws exist is so that these thugs can steal your money legally. Well, first of all, it's not stealing if it's legal. Well, they're doing this just so they could legally steal your money. Stealing is not legal, therefore they're not stealing your money. What happens is, if you violate a traffic law, that again, any actual reality behind why traffic laws exist, they ignore completely. They just completely ignore the entire history of the automotive industry and why these laws exist, like it never happened. Like, just out of the blue, one day, somebody said, how can we make more money? Why don't we stop just having cops just start grabbing people's money and pulling it out of their pockets? But that's not what happens at all, is it? First of all, if you blow a stop sign, right? Now, why is the stop sign there? Well, because what if another car's coming the other way? So you don't smash into them. Why is the stop sign there? Well, people might want to cross the street so you don't run them over, right? But they put the stop sign up, and you know what happens? Nobody stops. Because why should they? Because there's a stop sign? Who cares? So they have to find a way to tell people, look, if you don't stop at the stop sign, there has to be some sort of reason for you, some motivation for you to obey the stop sign, for you to obey the signals. Because when they first invented the signals, people did not obey them. They wouldn't have had to make the traffic laws if people did. So it's already been proven that people don't. So we have to make these traffic laws so that people will actually obey the traffic signals. Oh, but wait. What are we going to do if they disobey the traffic signal? We got a jail that's full of murderers and, child molesters and all these horrible people, and let's throw them in there because they didn't obey a traffic signal? No, of course not. Of course not. That would be unconstitutional. That would be cruel and unusual punishment. Well, you got to do something. What do? You just go Daryl Brooks and let them all just start running everybody over all the time? And, oh, well, there's no such thing as traffic laws, so just let them. Obviously not. That's ridiculous. Exactly. That is ridiculous. There has to be some way to enforce traffic laws. Fines. So the fines are there to extort money out of people? No. They're there because there has to be some way to enforce these laws. Would you rather that they locked you up and made you do hard time over a stupid traffic stop? Is that what you would prefer? Because the only other option, besides the way it actually works now, the only other option is to make the whole world Daryl Brooks. Everyone just drives over everything all the time and smashes into each other and drives through walls and runs people over because there's no reason to obey traffic laws because they're not going to do anything if we don't. So those are your only options. Like, how do you not understand this? How do these frauditors not understand this? Anyway, we're getting back to the whole BSBT thing that got me, because that's what they were talking about when I saw that. They want to be all of this this idea of cop watching, right? Which we all know is, hey, LJ Sings, what's up? Oh, no. Hold on. Wait a minute. LJ Singh's got something important to say here. What's going on? Wait, what? What's going on? What did I miss? Hey, Hez, always glad to catch you, even if I'm really late. Anyone willing, please send good vibes out to me because temp is dropping below freezing unexpectedly, leaving me hang a door and clear out room for the dog. Oh, I'll tell you what. I'm from the Midwest, man, so I know all about freezing temperatures just getting hit out of nowhere, and you gotta hunker down, man. Get ready. I feel sorry. I hope the dog keep that dog warm. What kind of dog is it? See, that's the kind of situation when it actually is good to have a husky, because those guys, they'll just roll around in the snow and love it. Man, I take care of that dog. Good vibes, everything, whatever you need. Reminds you know what you could do? You could just cuddle with the dog and keep it warm with your body heat. That would be a nice way to spend Veterans Day. So where are we? Let's see. Half German Shepherd. All right. Yeah. I don't know, man. Their coat ain't that thick. It's good enough. Grandma Wolf just had your first blizzard. See, this is the thing. Like, it's weird because, like, every time I would be outside shoveling snow, of course, I'd be like, man, this is BS, and I hate this crap, and blah, 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 and cracking this ice, and slipping and falling on it, and getting my car stuck, and all the crap you have to deal with in winter. But since I've been here in Florida, it's like, I miss it all. I miss it. Because as much as I would complain and moan and gripe about shoveling the snow, that's great exercise, man. And that puts me in a position where I have no choice. I gotta get the exercise. Like it's all right. And yeah, there's bad things associated with it as well, of course. But just being out here where it's nothing but hurricanes and hot and hurricanes and hurricanes and hot, and just I don't know. I mean, some of the stuff I like out here are like some of the animals I see out in the wild. Like where I grew up, it was, I'd see like deer, rabbits, squirrels, occasional raccoon, occasional opossum. But here there's like lizards and stuff. That's pretty cool. Just living out in the wild. Let's see. Hey, Kim Crawford, I'll catch you when it's time to plow. Living in North Dakota. My dog's normal temp is 101. Wow. Moors are hilarious. 28 degrees. Wow. That's cold. Cold. What am I? No. Brain. The whole Constitution thing can only work if everyone in society is a civilized member of society. Sovereign citizens aren't civilized. Auditors aren't civilized. And Moors aren't civilized. That's exactly right. That's one of the biggest problems. One of the many big problems with all of these groups is that they don't seem to understand that to function in a civilized society, all of the members of the society have to play their part. They have to pull their weight. That's one of the reasons why I always talk about, like, when you hear people always say, why don't you get a job? Why don't you get a job? And you're like, well, this is my job. It's like, they never understand the underlying point that we're trying to make is do something that actually is useful for society. If all of the laws that you want to get rid of were gotten rid of, if all of the regulations you wanted to get rid of were gotten rid of, if everything was what you wanted, what would happen? Well, and I said this yesterday, you got internet. Who's building the satellites? Who's launching them? Who's programming them? Who's running them? Who's running the electric plants? Who's maintaining the electricity? Who's maintaining the wires? Who's maintaining the lines? Who's doing all of the stuff for the infrastructure of the world to exist at all of that is, there's so many people involved. There's so many thousands, if not millions of moving parts to everything that makes it possible for you to just grab your phone, shove it in someone's face, and act like a jerk. And if your supposed what you're fighting for actually were to happen, that entire thing would collapse. Because what's up, Roisin? Because there'd be absolutely no Articuno, Blue Vaughn, what's up? There'd be no incentive for anyone to do anything. Like, hey man, we need to build some roads. And you're thinking, well, how could me just filming somebody destroy the entire infrastructure? It's a domino effect. What you don't understand is, if they start taking away all the rules and all the regulations and all the laws, right, then what rules or regulations or laws are there that are going to motivate me to go to work and build a road for you to drive on? What is going to be there to motivate me to go to work to pump the electricity that you need to power your cell phone or your house? Where's the motivation? There's no laws, there's no rules, there's no regulations. So why should I do any of it? Why don't I just sit at home and grow my own food and mind my own business, and you do yours? And if you want to go outside and do something, good luck, pal. Hope you survive the apocalypse. Rogue Nation. Oh yeah, we know he's here. Hi. Let's see. Like, I don't have enough on my plate dish. Can't stay away. Go figure. I'm just trying to get caught up with the chat here. 28 degrees is 28 Celsius. Oh, I see what you're saying. 28 Fahrenheit is really cold. Yeah, like really cold. Productive Americans. Yes, productive Americans are a great thing. And they're very important to have. And they keep, again, the infrastructure of this country moving, going, right? But you want to, the frauditors, the sovereign citizens, the Moorish, all of them, they want to take the base foundation on which this entire infrastructure is built and start chipping away at it and chipping away at it and chipping away at it until there's nothing left and it all collapses. And then they're going to be like, oh my God, look at all this horrible, rotten, no, it's the end of the apocalypse, blah, 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 right? And you're going to be sitting in the corner crying and have absolutely no idea or understanding that it was people like you doing what you do that caused all of this to happen. I'm not saying that one idiot with his camera is going to cause the entire infrastructure of the government to fall. That's not what I'm saying. But of course, you're going to take my words out of context, build a false narrative, and make it sound like that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is your stated goals are a lie, because if the things that all of the frauditors and all of the sovereign citizens and all of the Moors, if the things they're asking for actually happened, that's when the entire society would begin to fall apart. And again, I didn't say, and I'm not trying to say, because I know how you idiots think, and I wrote a freaking book about it. I know how you idiots think. You're going to take what I say out of context and say, hey, Hezokuai thinks that just because I went like this, that's going to destroy the entire infrastructure of the country. No, I don't. In fact, I know it's not going to happen. My point is listening to the words that you say. That's key. That is extremely key. Listening to the story these guys tell, listening to the false narrative these guys build, believing that all of these different things that they want to happen, if those things were to happen, which they won't, but if they did, if you got your wish, if you had a magic lamp and you rubbed it and the genie came out and gave you 3 wishes and you wished for the things that you say you want, that you say are the goal of your frauditing, and it happens, everything would be done. It'd take maybe 6 months before we'd be eating each other to survive. Let's see. Let me get caught up in the chat. Let's see. Too many Americans are too self-centered to be proud and too entitled. They need stuff handed to them, unfortunately. Grandma Wolf. I like that. Oh, man. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Too many Americans are too self-centered to do anything to be proud of, too entitled and need stuff handed to them, unfortunately. Yeah. And that's the thing, too. Because again, I am not trying to turn this into a political channel, right? Because I don't believe that any of this has anything to do with partisan politics. Now, of course, when I say, well, if you want to change the laws, then you need to vote and go through the proper channels, that does get into political philosophy, right? But whether or not it is moral to intentionally try to manipulate the emotions, particularly of females, for your own rush of personal satisfaction, making you feel like a big, powerful man because you can control other people's emotions. No matter what side of the political fence you're on, we could all agree that's wrong. When you say that an officer asking, just saying the words, "May I have your ID?" that in and of itself is a violation of your Fourth Amendment. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, liberal. I don't care if you're what you are. That's just wrong. It's not true. Fact is fact, right? So like I say, I don't try to turn this into a political thing because there are different opinions of different policies, but fact is fact. And that's why I try to remain neutral when it comes to that stuff. So why am I even bringing it up? Because when you talk about what's going on in the world right now, if you look out there and you look at the social justice warriors and you look at, and especially for me, because I have young kids in school and I'm seeing the stuff that they're teaching and it's like, really? Like, I would think that these subjects shouldn't even be discussed with a child at all, let alone taught in school. Like, we could get into this whole big debate about all this, but the point I'm trying to make is when you look at the overall idea, like with cancel culture and woke culture and whatever else you want to call it, politically correct culture and all these things combined with now these frauditor idiots on top of it, you just have more and more examples of people whose entire lives are nothing but benefiting from the social structure that they've dedicated themselves to tearing apart. You have a phone. You have the luxury of a magical device that is a camera. When I was a kid, a camera was this big and had a big, huge flash on top, and you had to put film in it, right? Now you could do all that with this. And a video camera, this big, huge rig that I would have to carry on my shoulder when I was a kid with a wire hanging from it to a box down here where I could stick a videotape in to record. Also on here. Also, every single song ever written from frickin' Mozart to Metallica right here at the speed of light to a satellite in outer freaking space and back again fast enough to know exactly where you're standing for the GPS to tell you need to make a left turn. Filming all of these things you're filming and uploading it on the internet to the entire world instantly, sitting in your warm home with your heat, your hot water, your running water, your flushable toilet, your roof over your head, and this entire beautiful system that you benefit from 24/7. The fact that you're on the computer right now, the fact that you have a computer. Do you realize that when I was a kid, a computer was like an entire warehouse full of flashing diodes? Like, you have a computer. Look at this. Look at this. Check this out. Look. You see that? That's my computer. My entire computer that I'm moving around right now. It's a laptop. The fact that this even exists, you benefit so much from the society that you hate, that you despise, that you've dedicated your life to trying to destroy. For what? So that you could go back to sleeping in caves? So that we have to eat each other to survive? Well, no, you don't understand. I understand completely. You don't understand. I want to red pill you idiots back into the real world. That was why I ended up going back on the BSBT stream yesterday, but he didn't realize I was there because they blocked me, of course. And he didn't have an open link like he did last time. But I wanted to see if they learned anything from when I was on the panel. But of course, they're not going to learn anything. None of these guys are ever learn anything from anything we say. So why bother? Well, again, I'm not taking credit for any of this or even giving our side credit at all. I'm just saying that when you look at someone like Big West Audits, who is now Big West Gaming, or Legalized Drugs, who now is an anti-frauditor person, you see that the possibility that these people actually can learn, that these people, oh, the people, when I grew up, the people had to do with the Pope. Anyway, when you look at these people, those two examples are examples. Even, you know what? I could even put Ironton Auditor into that group because he started out under the spell of Chili de Castro and then took it and is still doing it, but doing it the right way. Those are three examples that these people can learn. These people can understand the way the real world actually functions, not the way their imaginary universe of domination and control and humiliation and all of the things that they try to project onto others that they've dedicated their lives to doing, that they call their job. Like, well, they can't. Well, that's the thing. It's like there's some realistically speaking, it's fun to just sit there and call them stupid, right? But like I said earlier, if you actually look at it, if you actually delve into the psychology behind it, there has to be something fundamentally wrong with these people. Either if they're one of the people who targets women disproportionately to the way they target men, and then think it's funny. You know who's another great example of this is Josh Abrams. Say whatever you want about, like, it's easy for a lot of us to kind of, cut him a little bit of slack because he's anti-chili. But at this point, everyone's anti-chili, so that doesn't even matter anymore. But the fact that if he makes a woman cry or gets a woman to quit her job or get fired, he will show shades of humanity and like say, "Oh, is she okay?" Like, but while it's happening, he will laugh. So what is that doing to her? Him going to someone else later and saying, "Hey, is she okay?" doesn't change the fact that you did what you did. It's like emotionally the same thing, not physically, but emotionally the same thing as I grab your arm and I'm pushing it down and you say, "Hey, that hurts." And you say, "Yeah, I know." And you keep pushing it. And they say, "Hey, you're going to break my arm." And you say, "I know." And then you snap it. And then you laugh. I broke his arm. His arm's broke. That's so funny. And then you turn around and you go to a doctor and you say, "Hey, man, that dude's arm's broke. You better go help him out." That makes it okay that you broke his arm? Sorry, I gotta. Power does what it wants. Yeah, that's the problem. These guys try to get power, have power over other people. That's why it's so fundamentally important to them that people who have decent jobs with decent benefits, making a decent wage, cannot, under any circumstances, be thought of as people who are working hard to take care of their families, which is why they are trying to do the right thing to take care of their responsibilities and to be adults and productive members of society that take on adult responsibilities and do what needs to be done to make society a better place, to raise their families. They can't look at them that way. They look at them as my servant. You're my servant. You do what I say because you are my servant. Serve me. Serve me now. Run, 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 run. Do what I say because I said it. Fail, fail, fail. You failed the audit because you didn't bend over backwards and let me stick it up you immediately when I told you to. They have to double down on the word servant. You're a public servant. That's why that's so important to them, because it dehumanizes the person. That's what gives them the rationale to use their power to manipulate the emotions of the people they're auditing. Okay? It's because they have to dehumanize them. Because if you think of them as human beings, then you might feel guilty for treating them the way you treat them. So you dehumanize them by saying they're just servants. They're not people, they're just servants. And I pay them, so they're just servants. They don't matter. They're just public servants. They're dehumanizing them. They're putting them on a level below them, so that when they manipulate them, when they pump up their own egos by trying to, as Bay Area Transparency said, pull the strings like puppet masters, bruh, they don't feel guilty for doing it. I used to wonder, well, how do they go to bed at night? How do frauditors sleep at night after what they do all day, every day? Because by purposely going out of their way to specifically say public servant and shove the idea of public servant so intensely into every interaction, they are dehumanizing public employees. You are no longer a person who has a job that's trying to work and take care of your family and provide for the betterment of society in general by doing a job. You're a servant. And that's all you are. I mean, let's face it. It's an old technique. I'm not just making this up, pulling this out of thin air and talking trash. It's been forever. That's why in wartime, right? Whoever the enemy is, there's always some sort of an insult, a racial insult that while you're at war with those people becomes acceptable in society. It's so that you could dehumanize the opponent to the point to where you actually can pull the trigger because you're not killing a human, you're killing a kraut. Like, I use that as an example because obviously nobody's going to argue that World War II was justified, right? But that's why they referred to the Germans as the Krauts, because it dehumanizes them. It's way easier, especially if your next door neighbor is an immigrant from Germany and you've known him since you were 5 years old and he's your best friend. And now you have to go to his homeland and shoot Germans. You can't do that. Your best friend's a German. You love the German people. They're not German people. They're Krauts. They're Nazis. They're no good, right? It dehumanizes people, right? In Vietnam, that's why they called them gooks, because if you think of them as Vietnamese citizens, then those are people. I don't want to kill people. No, they're not. You dehumanize them. Public servant isn't, well, technically they're a public. No, it's dehumanizing the people who work in the service industries so that you can treat them the way you treat them and still be able to sleep at night. It's all psychological. Like, I've seriously been breaking this down. And the deeper I dig, the more I find like the psychology behind these people and what they do is actually fascinating and disturbing at the same time. The fact that these people do this and don't even have the well, but how many people that do these things that need psychological help know this? If they did, there wouldn't be interventions, right? There wouldn't be people that are court ordered to get psychological evaluations if they understood the psychology behind what they were doing. You have to sit down with a clinical psychologist and talk to them about your mother issues and talk to them about this hatred you have in your heart and why and how it got there and how to get rid of it, instead of embracing it and using it as the fuel to harass and insult and manipulate and control everyone else using my flag as an excuse. And that's why it offends me personally, because every time you guys bring up the Constitution, every time you guys bring up liberty, every time you guys bring up freedom, it's a slap in the face. Today's Veterans Day. It's a slap in the face to everyone who ever did fight and die for this, because like I covered yesterday, talk to an old person and tell them what these guys do and explain to me how you believe that somebody who fought in Europe in the war, who fought in any of these wars for these rights, would think it's okay for you to act the way you act. I guarantee you, if you start showing frauder videos to old people, they're going to be appalled at your behavior. They're not going to say, see, now that's why I fought, was to get people the right to do that. No, they're going to say, why aren't they beating the crap out of this idiot for acting so stupid and being so disrespectful? It doesn't add up. And so let me get back in the chat, see what we got. Oh wait, let's see. Let me go back. The frauditors like to try and claim that they work for the people too. The people, if the frauditors work for the people, then the people want them fired. How about everyone just wish his own karma back at him? Yeah, there you go. Probably Dr. Dyer. I don't know. It's about quartering a true. Oh, talking about the Third Amendment, of course. Let's see. Standing up for yourself. It's control you to begin with. Just trying again, catching up on the chat. Let's see. They know this already? Yeah. They know. Let's see. All right. So where are we at now? Because there's been a lot. The Third Amendment. Who violates the Third Amendment? Would you ever have Rogue Nation on my Rash Live? Worf, one of the reasons why Rogue Nation shows up here every day is because I have had him on the program several times. As much as we argue or whatever about points, we have actually had decent discussions, like actual, conversations on the stream. So, on that level, I am never against the idea of open dialogue. The problem that I have is, like, for example, the stuff I played yesterday from last week when I was on Broken System, Broken Trust stream, and this werewolf guy, Wolverine Transparency, whatever, starts, because it was Josh Lanto's channel. It was Josh Lanto's stream. I went on panel to discuss with Josh the specific issues that Josh was discussing on the show. And all of a sudden, what's really funny is if you watch the whole thing, in the end, Josh goes, well, this is turning into the Hezokuai show. And I don't get that. But the whole time, no matter what I said to Broken System, Broken Trust, Wolverine Transparency answered. And it was a 25-minute answer. It's like, dude, I'm not talking to you. I'm asking him a question. And then Wolverine Transparency would get offended that I said that. And he'd talk for another 25 minutes. And then I'd ask a question to Broken System, Broken Trust. And Wolverine Transparency would answer it and go off again. Like, the dude completely tried to dominate the conversation. I absolutely outclassed all three of them that were on the panel. Then Paul Carroll came up, and then this other woman that I don't know came up, and it became 3-on-3, and we actually had a pretty good go-around. And then my son called, and I was like, well, he's more important than any of you idiots, so I'm out of here. But it's just, it's amazing to me how people don't comprehend such simple concepts, like something as simple as an officer saying, may I see your ID? And you handing them your ID is such an impossible concept for them to comprehend. Like, how is something that simple so difficult to understand? And they start going in these convoluted conspiracy theory nonsense things about, like, well, they just want your ID so they could run you for warrants. Thank God. Because if you're going around beating people or raping people or molesting children and there's a warrant out for you, I hope they find it. How much of a freaking riot in the street would it be? You guys love to talk about how the Uvalde cops didn't do anything. But when cops do something, they're violating my rights. They just want my ID so they could run me for warrants. Good if you have warrants and they don't run your ID and they let you go, and then the general public finds out that a cop had him and could have busted him right then and there, but didn't run his ID, and that's all they had to do to find out that this was a wanted man. That would be way worse. So give them your card, let them run you. If you're not doing nothing wrong, they'll see you're doing nothing wrong. They'll say, okay, thank you. Have a nice day, sir. But it's a violation of my rights for them to run for warrants. Argue that all you want. If you actually did have a warrant, if you actually were a violent criminal, I would much rather they run you and find out who you are and get you off the streets than to let you go because they didn't want to hurt your little feelings by asking you for an ID. No logic in the way they think. It's insane. All right, so let's see where we at. Okay, David, now switch the words. Okay, no, I missed some. Hey, Selma, what's the 7th Amendment? You know what I always think we need to start asking these guys is what's the 10th Amendment? In fact, that would be one of the things, like if I always say this, like the ultimate like pinnacle of my career as an anti-frauditor would be to actually be able to run into one of these guys in the wild and audit the auditor, like literally go up to them with my phone and audit them. That would be the pinnacle of awesome. But if it was specifically someone like Anselmo, I would ask him, hey, brah, do you know what the 10th Amendment is, brah? You know, the one that gives the state the rights to make policies and procedures that you don't like? Well, they can't make them if they go against the Constitution. That's right. That's why they don't. Well, yeah, they do. Well, yeah, and then the Supreme Court overturns them. So what? Just because you don't like a law because you don't want to follow it doesn't make it invalid or unconstitutional. Because, and this is the thing, and you guys are never able to make these connections in your brain because your neurons don't fire properly. Maybe it's all the cocaine, I don't know. So let's look at the connections that are not being made in your minds that ought to be, okay? If you believe that there's a law that is unconstitutional because you don't like that law, I guarantee you that child molesters don't like anti-child molesting laws. I guarantee you that pedophiles, being a pedophile, engaging in that sort of behavior makes them happy. So it's unconstitutional, even though it's not in the Constitution, it's in the Declaration of Independence, but you guys never make that connection. It's against their pursuit of happiness and therefore unconstitutional to make a law saying that I cannot molest children because molesting children because if you're a pedophile, molesting children is something that I don't want. I almost said, which I realized somebody could clip, I like, right? So speaking in their voice. So a child molester or a pedophile likes doing that. It makes them happy to do that. So, does that mean that they could say that it's a violation of the 10th Amendment for you to make a law saying I can't do something I like doing because I like doing it? Well, what if that thing you like doing is hurting other people? And again, I know that it's like, even Graham's like, whoa, slow down, Hez. It's like, but here's the thing. The reason why I use sexual deviancy specifically is because they will make the argument that sex is fun. So I'm just giving them fun. So what's the problem? That shouldn't be illegal. So in their minds, they're thinking that this shouldn't be illegal. So it's the same argument. It's the same argument. It's not the equivalent crime, but it's the same argument. That's why I keep using Daryl Brooks as an example. Well, we always say if you hurt people, that's different. Right. The crime isn't the equivalent, but it's literally the same argument. This is why I point to that, because this is an example of what we're trying to teach you guys about your arguments not holding up to any logic or scrutiny. And when you see them applied to real crimes, then What happened? What happened? Are we good? Are we still here? Am I back? Can you guys see me? Am I here? I broke the internet. Yeah, it's a conspiracy. It could be. It could be from the weather. It could very well be from the weather. But am I back? I am back. Okay, good, 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 good. Yeah, man. Just my whole thing, just everything, just like, and then popped right back up. So I'm glad I made it. Wow. The frauditors found. Yeah, Graham, you're right. That's hilarious. He's like, wait a minute. Now you're talking about that stuff. Why? Just stop it. And then bam. Shit, that timing was perfect. Come here. This one's freaking out too. It must have been something to do with the weather, I think. I don't know. Let's see what she has to say. What do you think about all this nonsense that's going on with these frauditors, huh, girl? Huh? Yeah. Oh, you're gonna. All right. Okay. I didn't even eat anything with my hands, but maybe it's my natural salt, sweat, oil juices. Ew, wait, that's the same tongue you lick your own butt with. Ew. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the show. Gotta go. Bye-bye. I'll troll you later. That's Angel. She's an angel. Actually, I think she's asking me to take her out. All right. So did you guys let me put you guys on hold for a minute while I take the dog out here. Let me find a quick video I could play for you while I'm gone. Let's see, something quick and easy to play while I let the dog out. I gotta refill my coffee and go to the potty too anyway. So let's see. Any requests of any of my classics that anyone wants to see? No. All right. Then I'll just randomly grab one. You know what? This is a good one. I always like this one. So this is actually, out of all the videos I made, one of my favorites. Um, Wait a minute. What's going on? I hate it when this happens. In my audio, I hear the video playing, but I don't have it on my screen. Oh, that's why. Okay, I got it. I figured it out. All right, so let's share screen. Again, I'm going to just let this play for a minute while I take care of the dog and refill my coffee and go potty. And I'm glad I'm back. If I get lost again, you'll know that it's just the weather and not anything horrible bad. Real quick, I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you again to all my new subscribers. Also, there's a channel I want to support. I saw this channel. It's called Telecline. I'll put probably a link in there below. And what she does is she goes around filming Glenn Serio, and she gives him a taste of his own medicine. So there's that. And then my 11-year-old son, if you're into gaming, he has his own gaming channel called Mighty Morphin YouTuber. I'll put that below too if you want to check that out. So without further ado, I just wanted to also say, wait, what are you doing? No, don't change the channel. No, I wasn't done yet. Stop, cut it out. Ah!
I'll take things that idiots just don't understand for 200.
The answer is, this document specifically gives post office employees the right to ask you to stop recording.
What is some crap you guys just made up to give the cops an excuse to violate my rights, man?
I'm sorry, that's the wrong answer. The correct answer is, what is poster 7? Poster 7.
Oh, no. Wait a minute, man. I've watched it. I contest that, man. Your producers, they're stupid. They don't know the law, man. Look, I've seen at least 100 videos where dudes walked into post offices and quoted poster 7, and I never heard any of them say nothing like that, man. You guys don't know what you're talking about over there, man.
Have you ever actually read poster 7?
Don't nobody read no more, man. This is the 21st century. Give it the times, boomer.
First of all, I'm not a boomer. My parents were boomers. I'm Generation X. Second, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard anyone say.
I could read the Constitution and every resolution and not just be a pain. Poster 7, I could say it even properly, convey it if I only had a brain. I could be nice to other people, not only call them sheeple when they say I smell like fart. The cops I've baited are still fuming, but I could be a decent human if I only had a heart. While my friends all get arrested, I run off uncontested and skip the tasing I deserve. We could all just help each other, not just go crying to my mother if I only had the nerve. Somewhere the world is insane, bro. I can drive without a driver's license, traveling far and wide, where I don't get chased by the cops for putting all the red light stops behind me. Yes, going through the school zone fast while children are getting out of classes where you'll find me.
You know, because I also had the lien on the Bar Association filed on the 19th, also for $279 trillion that was made back in 2015.
You heard that right. $279 trillion. The world's GDP is about $87 trillion, and this lady thinks that the Bar Association owes her over 3 times that amount. Because reasons.
I'm going to appoint the public defender's office.
I won't be representing myself as mentioned, Judge. That will be Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior.
And now, something completely different.
The tale of the sovereign citizen watchdog movement's ultimate mic drops.
And we start with that News 4 exclusive. A Newark home taken over by an alleged extremist group that not only changed the locks, but actually claimed ownership over the property. And that's just the start of this bizarre residency battle. News 4's Checky Beckford joins us live to explain what happened when police showed up. And Checky, this homeowner has quite the story to tell.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Gilma, quite the bizarre story. Let me just set the scene for you. This home was bought by a woman, a first-time home buyer. She was excited to move in, but had to get through all of the red tape to do renovations on the previously bank-owned property. She was finally able to get the keys last week, but the house, as you mentioned, was taken over by a man who put up a Moorish flag in the window and refused to come out.
At the end of the day, this our shit, and we coming for our shit, whether you like it, whether your grandma like it, whether your mom like it.
Well,
we don't give a fuck no more. We don't.
Well, let me
care.
tell you this. Well, let me tell you this, Lyrica. You keep on. You could say that. You could say I'm not allowed to be here. You can call me a foreigner. You can call me an immigrant. But I'm going to tell you here that I'm here to stay. I was born here. I live here. And if you try to take me out of my property, come and take it.
That means nothing to me. That means
if we have that title to your shit, we will take it.
Oh, come and take it, bitch.
All right. I want your money and I want your dignity, and I'm taking both.
To quote my good friend Artie, come take it, bitch. Come take it, bitch. Come take it, bitch. Come take it, bitch.
Come and take it, bitch.
She spit in my face.
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 Take it, bitch.
Take it, bitch.
She spit in my face.
You're a fucking idiot.
She spit in my face.
Stop, little thick dude.
Hello, I'm back. I'm back on the attack. My hat's crooked. Oh well. So, welcome. Where's the dancing Blandino? Well, that's the original video that I got that stuff from. I mean, that's my song, but I mean, I just re-edited the video to work as my intro. But yeah, that's the original video that I got it from. Let's see, where are we at in the chat? What did I miss? Let's see. I think the last thing I saw, I don't know. Looks like there's a lot. I need an intermission video. That was the last one I saw. Don't fall in the toilet. Oh, believe me, that ain't gonna happen. Let's see. Here, nothing has changed. More proactive. How did these squirrels get so cute? I gotta go. Oh well. Good luck with the rec opinion, Dave. Let's see. Have a great day and keep pulling your own strings. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna have somebody else pull my strings. Of course, I'm gonna pull my own. We don't do that here. They need reasonable, articulable suspicion. It's called the law because you're right. Okay, you know what? That's another thing that I've wanted to address several times. Thank you, Chelsea. That's one of the things that I've wanted to address on several occasions is this idea about reasonable, articulable suspicion. Just because you decided that it's not RAS doesn't mean that it's not. It just means that you don't want to accept it as such. And I love the fact that so many of these frauditors are so completely entrenched in their stupidity and completely blue-pilled into this non-existent universe that they cannot even begin to comprehend the stack of papers in the docket every day that the court has to deal with. And they have overcrowded prisons full of violent criminals. And in the end, your $50 ticket that you're going to push and push and push and push and push and push until it costs the state, our taxpayer dollars, $50,000 to prosecute your $50 ticket. If you're going to just do that, they're just going to dismiss the case because they don't have time for that. They have important things to do. And you're going to call that a win. Like, that's always the big argument. Well, they dismissed the charge. Well, they dismissed the charge. Well, they dismissed the charge. Well, they dismissed the charge because they ain't got time for your dumb ass. That's why it got dismissed, because you are a dumbass. They ain't got time for you because there's important things to do. Let's see. They built it. I think Rogue Nation thinks that this is 1974. I don't know what he's talking about. Let's see. What's up, George Stewart? Ask Rogue if he has his dolls with him because he likes showing people. Also, he likes to fondle his dolls. Yeah, George, I was talking about that earlier. Spicy Peach, what's up? Y'all yearning? Y'all learning? I hope they learn something. I mean, I do this every day, and I get people like Rogue and Dave. Hold on, let me, because I'm looking at myself, and my crooked hat is driving me nuts here. Silly Willie the douche hammer. Yeah, and that's another thing, man. Just make sure you understand. I've never claimed not to be a douchebag. I'm just saying these guys are also douchebags. But yeah, they should learn. So this is the thing. Always referring to a dismissal as a victory. Again, these guys love to redefine words, right? The definition of public servant is not a person who has a good paying job with good benefits, that is a productive member of society, that is actually lucky enough to find themselves in a position to have a good job, that they can be an adult, a responsible adult who works hard to take care of their family, to take care of their responsibilities like a responsible adult should do, and redefining that to, you're my servant. Again, why is it so important to them that they always go out of their way to stress the idea of a public servant? Because it dehumanizes the worker and makes them less than human, which makes it possible for them to not feel guilty about the way they treat these people. They dehumanize them by calling them public servants, but technically, by definition, they are public servants, right? But you guys go out of your way to shove that public servant idea. It's constantly reaffirming it, and reaffirming it because it dehumanizes them, which allows you to not feel bad about treating them the way you treat them. And another reason why wait, what's this? People had more oh yeah, right. And don't say that he's in 1974, because in 1974 people actually treated each other like people and it was nice. That's true. If someone talked to anyone the way these guys talked to people back then, they'd take a beating for it, right? The fact that even one audit video exists on the internet should prove that they're wrong on everything they say. And I've brought this up many, many times, and it's still out there. It's floating in the ether, and there's never any logical, reasonable answer to the question as to why doing this is necessary. In other words, we're fighting against people violating our rights. What's up, Coaches? We're fighting against the government trying to take away our rights. Okay. What rights exactly are they trying to take away? Like, what is it specifically that you're fighting against? You're fighting against people feeling uncomfortable being filmed? Why is that something that needs to be fought? Like, why is that so majorly important to you? And I was thinking about this the other day. And again, I want to not make this a political debate. I'm just using this as an example. Okay? No matter what side of the fence you're on, no matter what you believe politically, seriously, legit, okay? Let's say, and again, if you're simply talking about wanting to dedicate yourself to standing up to the First Amendment by seeing if people, because that's the story, that's the actual narrative, right? Like, forget my interpretation of it. Let's look at the actual narrative that you guys are trying to sell. I am going to film here to see if they respect my First Amendment right to film. So you're fighting for the First Amendment. So if I see a video where, and again, I'm not trying to turn this into a political thing, I'm just using this as an example. If you hear that Ben Shapiro is going to give a speech at the local university, and there's a huge protest to stop him from speaking there, how come you don't go there to support his First Amendment right to speak at that university? If Jordan Peterson is going to give a speech at a local college and there's a protest to stop him from doing it, how come you're not there auditing that to make sure the school gives him his First Amendment right? Where were you guys when Ben Shapiro was in Illinois at DePaul University with a permit, and they had the police out there stopping him from going in and speaking? Where were you guys during an actual violation of the First Amendment? Where were you guys? Nowhere to be seen. But the lady who's sitting behind the counter typing and asking you, may I help you? Now she needs to be audited. You need to expose her. But the people who aren't allowing people to express their free speech by going out and talking, not an auditor to be found, when it actually is a legit First Amendment related violation of rights, not an auditor in sight, not one. But the lady who's sitting behind the counter at the post office, she needs to be audited. she needs to be audited. But the people who actually do take action to try and suppress people's free speech, I don't see you guys auditing any of them. I see you guys auditing random people who were just minding their own business. See, this is why you specifically are such a frustrating turd face. Where was I? I'm not the one who's claiming to be a First Amendment auditor. I'm not the one who's claiming to be out there fighting for free speech. You are. So where were you? You were harassing some lady sitting behind a desk trying to work. That's where you were. That's the thing. I believe, and this is one of the reasons why, because I've actually had a lot of people ask me in my comments, why does what they do offend you? What does it have to do with you? What do you care what they're doing? Because I feel like I am an American. What's up? Thank you, Hand Banana. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hand Banana the man. Yeah. So I feel personally offended by the fact that if you actually use logic, if you actually use intellect to break down their arguments rationally, what you will find is that these people are fundamentally anti-American, and they become personally offensive to me because they use the Constitution as the shield for what they do to engage in anti-American activities. The word audit just has to be diminished due to your one. Well, yeah, I mean, they are trying to diminish the meaning of all kinds of words, like tyrant. Like at this point, that word doesn't even have a definition anymore. You do something I don't like, you're a tyrant. See, this is what, again, it's difficult sometimes for me because I'm trying to keep politics out of this. But when you look at the way that society in general is trying to redefine terms and taking these words that, like, this is the internet. We live in cancel culture days. We live in, all this. So I don't want to be taken the wrong way. I'm making an example of a word that is being appropriated, or the definition is being changed for a specific agenda. Okay. The way that so many people today use a word like racism for anything that anyone does that you don't like, if the person doing it happens to be white, they're automatically a racist. You don't even have to do something racist. You just have to do something that someone, even if it's another white person, right? If you're a white guy and you say something that another white guy doesn't like, they'll accuse you of racism. It's the same thing with these guys. If you say or do something they don't like, they accuse you of tyranny. And they never understand why, like, when someone actually does violate someone's rights in a tyrannical way, they're diminishing that. because they're saying, so then what is tyranny? So okay, so you're diminishing tyranny. You're changing the meaning of the word and making it meaningless. So now what happens when there actually is tyranny? Because it's like the boy who cried wolf. Every time a cop farts, he's a tyrant. So now I'm a cop, I pull someone over and they roll down their window and you say, may I see your driver's license and proof of insurance? And they say, oh, actually, I don't have my driver's license on me. And then the cop reaches in, grabs the dude by the throat, pulls him out, and starts bashing him in the skull with his stick. And then he pulls out his gun and starts pistol whipping him with the butt of his gun. And then he puts him in handcuffs, cuffs him to a post, and starts kicking him and kicking him and kicking him and kicking him and kicking him. And then he pulls out his gun and he shoots the guy in the balls. On your definition of tyrant, that's the same thing as saying, yeah, they called because they wanted you guys trespassed from here. A cop literally standing there talking to you is the same thing as what I just described. When you call that cop who's just standing there doing nothing, when you call him a tyrant, you're basically saying that there is no such thing as tyranny. Because if that's tyranny, then, I'm a tyrant. That's how much meaning the word has now. You guys have diminished that word and absolutely gave it no meaning at all. Anyone who actually engages in tyrannical behavior, so now what are they? Just, if anyone does anything, they're a tyrant. So if somebody actually engages in tyrannical behavior, what are they? Now we have to invent a new word because you guys have appropriated the word tyrant and turned it into a meaningless nothing. Oh, I got something from Debos. What's up? Thank you very much for the super chat. Rogue Nation, give me an example of how a police officer can be proactive to catch people in breach of their sentence without being able to ID people they come in contact with for those reasons. That's what I was talking about earlier, Debos. I was talking to, maybe, I don't know if you weren't here yet. That is exactly 100% accurate. The example that I was using, this is, I think, when my computer cut off for a minute. The example that I was using, let's say you have an outstanding warrant, because you guys love to use the example that, well, filming isn't a violent crime, right? There's no victim there. So let's say you have a warrant out for an actual crime. You hurt somebody and there's a warrant out for your arrest. Now, if the cops cannot ID you and cannot run you for warrants, that means that someday when that person goes out, hurts somebody else, and finally does get caught, and they investigate what happened, and they realize that the cops had the guy, but let him go because they never bothered to run his warrants, everybody's going to be trying to get that cop fired. It goes right back to my 7 tenets of frauditing. If a cop does anything at all, he's a tyrant. And if he doesn't do anything at all, he's a coward. You can't win. No matter what they do, it's wrong. That's why no matter what you say, it's wrong. Because you're wrong. And that's the other thing that, these guys, these frauditors are so completely blue-pilled into a fantasy world that doesn't exist that they actually believe that that makes sense. In their minds, that makes sense. What's up, Janice? Like, really? How can you make that connection in your brain and think that that makes any kind of logical sense at all? I mean, how is that even possible? I don't. That's why I was trying earlier in the stream to try and attempt to break it down on a psychological level, because it doesn't make sense to me that they cannot make the connection in their heads that if there's a wanted criminal, a real criminal out there, and the cops don't have the right to check your ID to find out if you are a real criminal, then what happens when it is a real criminal? Just let them go? Just let them go. And then what is the public reaction going to be? What would your reaction be, Mr. Frauditor, if you found out that someone murdered your daughter and that person could have and would have been in prison instead of murdering your daughter had the police just run his ID for warrants when they stopped him, but because they didn't want to violate his Fourth Amendment rights and you, frauditors, educated them not to. They never ran him, so they didn't know he had outstanding warrants, so they let him go, so he went and murdered. It's, you know what? I got this new thing. I'm going to make this a thing. I call it Spider-Man syndrome, because what happened? The crook was right there, and Peter Parker could have stopped him, but didn't. And then he went and killed Peter's uncle. And all Peter had to do was stop him, which he more than could have. He was Spider-Man, for crying out loud. What the hell are you talking about comic books for? Because that's what it is. It's the Spider-Man syndrome. It's, let's let all the criminals go because I'm not a violent criminal. So do not do anything that in any way could potentially uncover a violent criminal because I'm not a violent criminal. So get rid of all policies, all laws, all statutes, all things that are designed to catch violent criminals. Get rid of all of that because I'm not a violent criminal. How does that make sense? Why do you think that's a good idea? Well, you're violating my rights if you do that. Well, yeah, no, I don't think. See, that's the thing. I'm trying to red pill these guys. I'm trying to teach them something, but I don't know if any of them will ever learn. Let's see. Batman could have stopped his pay. Oh, yeah. Let's see. How does Rogue support his family? He doesn't. Oh, my goodness. What is he saying now? They all want laws gone. They use the system. Look at Chili. He hates cops, but runs to them all the time. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's idolate. What's up? Idolate. Yeah, that's it, right? That's what they do, isn't it? It's like, okay, I don't want the police to be able to do anything to anyone anytime unless someone has the audacity to go like that to my camera. Then they better be arrested for assault immediately and thrown in jail. And I'm going to go crying and screaming to the cops like a baby because someone went like, get. I like this, actually. This is pretty cool. If you don't like the law, get it changed. That's a good idea. You should try that sometime. Maybe, what's that stuff called? Guys in the chat, help me out. We just did it a few days ago. What's that thing called that you can do to help change the laws? And does anyone remember what that word is? It starts with a V. It ends with an E. There's an O-T in the middle. V-O-T. How does that go again? I'm trying to remember. If you don't like the law, get it changed. So how do you go about doing that? Does anyone remember? I'm trying to remember. I think Leland got it. Oh, Graham said it first. Vote. Vote. Vote.
I said elect the right thing.
Elect the right people. Yes. This isn't going to get the law changed. Excuse me, ma'am. Oh, will you please not film me? No, because I don't give a shit about you or anyone else because I'm a frauditor piece of shit. Please do what I say because I said it immediately. Bow to my demands because you're a servant, not a human being. Thank you very much. I hope you're crying in the corner so I could laugh. I made a woman cry. I'm such a man. I made a woman cry. Oh, I feel so good now. Oh, wait, you know what? Now, see, I've been trying to save it up because I don't want to go too far with making it to where it isn't even a thing anymore because I do it too much. But just now, ladies and gentlemen, it's become appropriate. I walked into City Hall and there was a lady behind the counter. And she said she didn't like being filmed. But I filmed her anyway. Oh, and it made her so unhappy. It made her so uncomfortable. I made her so sad. I made her cry. Oh, I made a woman cry. Oh, baby, I made a woman feel bad and cry. I made her quit her job because there's a stalker that's looking for her, that's been following her around, and she doesn't want her image on the internet because he might find her. And I just put her image on the internet to give him the fuel to beat her, to find her and beat her. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, I'm a frauditor. Yes. Sorry, that's my impersonation of a First Amendment auditor. Sorry about that. When I start thinking about First Amendment auditors, I start thinking, oh, this is my impersonation. They are bullies. They don't just remind you of bullies. They are country. Yeah, this definitely is our country, the United States of America. We love it. You guys obviously hate it, but for some reason refuse to leave. Let's see. We need to clean up under Chili's desk. Yeah. Hi, Judy, I love you. Rogue Nation, I refuse to participate in a battle of wits with you as you are an unarmed opponent. I have an unfair advantage. That's great. To change the laws, write your congressman, go to a city council meeting, attend a police. No, listen, George, I'm sorry, but I have to disagree with you about that. Let's see. What do you say? To change the laws, you write to your congressperson, you go to a city council meeting, and you attend an open police chief. First of all, if a police chief is open, it's probably in the middle of surgery. So I'm definitely not going to attend that because I'm not an attendant physician. I know what you meant. I'm being sarcastic. And I was also going to be sarcastic in saying, no, you're wrong, George. That's not how you do it. This is how you do it. Hey, girls. Hey, girls. Let me wait. Do you like being filmed? No. Oh, yes. Well, then I'm going to film you more. Yeah, because making women uncomfortable is my only pleasure in life. Yes, please let me film you. That's how you change the law. Didn't you know that? It's in the Constitution. It says if you disagree with the law and want to change it, you have to harass and film women while they're trying to work and people while they're at their jobs. Hey, what's this? Nuclear 1, 2? What the heck is this? I don't know what point you walked in on. I was doing my impersonation of a First Amendment auditor. Oh, I made a woman cry. Baby. Oh, yeah. I made somebody feel uncomfortable. Oh, yeah, baby. I get so hot when I am able to hurt people's feelings and make them sad and make them uncomfortable. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if that's what you came in on. I ate funny. Some of the food I've eaten is kind of funny. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard sometimes, to eat funny. Cringe. Trish, what's up, Trish? Good to see you. Spicy peach too. What the? Yep, that's the only rise they get. Yeah, it is. That's like I said earlier. I was breaking it down. Corn wallets, what's up? I was breaking down for those of you who are just joining. I actually spent a good hour earlier, legitimately, rationally, and intelligently breaking down the psychology, because I find the psychology of these people to be fascinating. And what I came to realize, the ultimate point that I found, this is very complicated and there's a lot to it. But again, for those who are just joining us and missed it, what I have found, the sort of revelation that came to me that I realized when looking at psychology and basic psychological breakdowns of humans versus frauditors, because, I found something that I thought was fascinating, and I really broke it down and got into the details. So again, if you want to look at the actual breakdown, like I said, I spent probably like an hour talking about it earlier. But the ultimate discovery is that when they say public servant, if you watch all of the frauditor videos, they use the term public servant a lot. Now, on the surface, it's easy to say, well, that's their job. They're technically a public servant. But if you actually go over and look at come on, Spicy Peach, you're not banned. If you look at the use of the term public servant when used by auditors, what you realize is that they love to sell it, like I said, on the surface, as the idea that, well, technically, if you read their job description, they're a public servant, and that's all I'm saying. But if you look at what they're actually saying, and more importantly, the way they behave during their audits, you quickly begin to realize that when they say public servant, they are not saying it because it's what it is. They're saying it to dehumanize their victims so that they won't feel guilty later about what they did during the audit. It's a dehumanization tactic. They're not people. They're not workers. They're not employees. They're not people who are there to try and help us. They're not people who are trying to have a job to take care of their family and, add to society by being a responsible adult. They're none of those things. They're servants. They're public servants. It's a dehumanization tactic. It's a psychological game they play with themselves to justify their deplorable actions. I love making people feel bad. However you want to look at it, it's true both ways. Somebody got a problem with my lamp staring you down? Where's Miranda? I haven't seen her in like a week. She used to come in here every morning and be like, that lamp's looking at me. Oh, man. Trish C, Spicy Peach 2, Leland Squirrels, they call them servant. If they are servants, well, I'm a specialist customer service advisor. Let me advise Rogue. Yeah, there you go. Nuclear 1, 2. Just noticed that's a bit creepy. I don't know. I got corn wallets. What? What the hell are you talking about? Wow. I don't know who you are or where you came from, man, but that's brilliant. I love that. I can't believe that. Boom, he just threw that out there. We're like, what? The hell are you talking about? That's great. And the picture you just painted in my mind. Oh, thank you. I needed a laugh. Pack. What's that over there? That's the Chicago Bears are playing the Detroit Lions this weekend over by there at the Soldier Field. That's what that is over there. And then after the Bears beat the Lions, then they'll finally start. Well, I mean, you know, you and me and Peck could beat the Lions without even trying because Detroit's that bad. But, you know, the Bears are going to win. It's going to be all right. That's what that is over there. But I wanted to see, Peck, here's the problem. You have to remember, you're talking to a lot of Americans through the internet. So when you say that, I don't think everyone is going to understand that you're saying that you live in Sydney, Australia. I think they're going to think about, like, you know, Sid Vicious, Sid Barrett. You know, when you say you're in Sid, who's Sid? Watch it. That's the third time today, Pack, that you said something that was a softball that I could have nailed out of the park, but I didn't, out of respect for you, because I know you're one of my biggest fans. But dude, you keep opening the door. Eventually, I gotta walk in. You're throwing me softballs, man. I could be lobbing these things out of the park all day. Oh man, Field of Streams. Wait a minute. What did Reagan say? Let's see. Reagan Benson said in her stream yesterday that her grandchildren were raised in a police state since she couldn't film in a federal court and needed to identify herself. So wait. So I have to read that again. So her grandchildren live like in a third world country or in the Middle East or something, because she couldn't film in federal court. I don't get it. I actually do get it. I'm being a smartass. Yeah, that's stupid. That's just dumb. But what else do you expect from a frauditor? What's a troll? Anyone who disagrees with anything you say is either a racist or a troll. Let's see. So when we disagree with what they say, we're trolls and we're bootlickers. And that's it. Like, you know, if you disagree with anything they say, you're stupid and you're an idiot. And it's like, so wait a minute. If I take this and I say, this is a coffee mug, and you say, no, it's not, and I say, well, I'm sorry, you know, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but this is a coffee mug. And you say, no, it's not. And then I say, what is this? And you say, not a coffee mug. And I say, well, this is obviously a coffee mug. You're an idiot. Now I'm a bootlicker and I'm an anti-American tyrant because I understand the fact that this is a coffee mug. But since you read somewhere on the internet that someone at some point decided that they found a loophole somewhere in the history of the English language that the initial word that coffee mug was derived from technically came from someone who thousands of years ago said something that actually meant cup. And so that's a coffee cup, not a coffee mug. And you'll argue that to death for your right to tell me that this isn't a coffee cup or a coffee mug. You're an idiot, and it's a coffee mug. And fact is fact. Again, the way these idiots think is the same thing as saying to point. It's the same thing as saying 2 plus 2 equals 16. That's what these guys are. They're 2 plus 2 equals 16. And then we come on here and we say, 2 and 2 is 4. They say, no, it isn't. You idiots just don't understand the truth. All right, look. I have 2 things. And then I take 2 more things and I put them together. How many things do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Or as they would say in Germany, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like 2 plus 2 is 4. Not because I'm a bootlicker, not because I'm a sheep that bows down before the commands of my mathematical overlords. If you take 2 things and then you take 2 more things and put them together, you have 4 things. 2 plus 2 is 4. The fact that I know and understand that doesn't make me a sheep, doesn't make me a bootlicker, doesn't make me a tyrant. Now you could say, well, we're not talking about math, but it's the same thing. You're taking facts, actual, indisputable, logical fact, and twisting and turning and mushing it and twisting it into you just want it to be what you say it is with no basis in fact whatsoever. Just because you said it. This law doesn't apply. Why? Because I said it doesn't apply. That's not the way the law works. Well, this statute doesn't apply. Why? Because I said it doesn't apply. That's not the way statutes work. If you walk into a building and someone who works there says, you're not allowed to film in here, that means you're not allowed to film in there. It doesn't mean scream and yell and hoop and holler and act like an idiot to get some views on your pathetic little YouTube channel to make a few bucks. What it means is get the frick out. Why can't you understand that? I do love pumpkin pie, and with Thanksgiving coming up soon, I'm going to be eating some of that. You know it. Actually, we've already started planning our Thanksgiving dinner. We actually have, just yesterday, we got a big old bag of sweet potatoes, like actual, like, all right. If you actually understand anything about cuisine, there is a difference between yams and sweet potatoes, like legit sweet potatoes. So these are more like yams. But the point is, we got them, and we're going to make our pie for, Thanksgiving is going to have the real stuff in it. It's not going to be like store-bought powder. We're going to use our own yams that we're going to cut up and make our own sweet potato pie. It's going to be great. So let's see. What do we got? What do we got going on here in the chat? Let's see. Just going back. I miss anything good? Joel Millard, I didn't say hello to you. Hello, welcome. Good to see you. I always try to acknowledge everyone that pops up. Sometimes I miss people, especially when a lot of people pop in and out over time. Like I see. You need to show an ID at a hospital or you get no treatment. I'm sure Reagan would be really neat. Yeah. I don't ID. Why not, David? Let's see. What? Corn Wallets and Spicy Peach too. Both of those two are like getting a little funky. So you know what? Just for them, I'm going to show this again. I know I showed it earlier, but again, I've been on here for a few hours. A lot of people are here that weren't here earlier. So I think they'll like this if they haven't seen it yet, based on the things that they're saying here. Let's see. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. I don't know what that was about. Where is it? Show me. Oh, my stupid dumb computer is being stupid and dumb once again. All right. I'm going to share this one more time for the people who are joining us later. And this video that I'm about to show is specifically dedicated to Spicy Peach 2 and Cornholio or whatever. What's his name? Captain Cornwallis. Like Captain Cornwallis. I get it. All right. So this is dedicated to you guys and the things you're saying in the chat. This is something I posted last night. Check it out.
I was just inspired by all of the TikTok challenges. I got a First Amendment auditor challenge. Since when you walk into a building, you're trying to prove to everyone through what you do that it's your building that you paid for with your tax dollars. So you should be able to do what you want in your building that you paid for. Here's your challenge. Next time you walk into a city hall or a post office or a library, walk right in the middle of the place, strip off all your clothes, lay down and play ping pong with your ding dong all day long and see how long that lasts. Because it's your building, isn't it?
I was muted. Let's see. Corn wallets. Out of late. I think I saw someone in here that I. Oh, Nicody, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see all of you. Love you guys so much. See, it's so funny. It's like every day I come on here, and every day Rogue Nation comes on here, and every day I point out the fact that his entire career is based on false equivalencies, and then he says this. Do I even need to make a case against this guy? I mean, read that. Does no blacks allowed mean no blacks allowed, or would that violate rights? Are you serious? Like, you seriously don't understand how that's different? If you cannot comprehend how that's different, then I was wrong to try and psychoanalyze you to find out why you hate your mother. What I should have done was I should have just realized that you're just a flat out idiot, because that's one of the dumbest comparisons you could possibly make, right? Race, creed, color, national origin, handicap status. Those are discriminatory things. I want it for you. I want it for you. Give me a for you. Give me a for you. Do what I say because I said it. How is that the same? Unless what you're saying is that you're mentally ill, so that's so they can't discriminate against you because you're insane. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. What they do is the same thing as what Roga. Leland squirrels. They always compare themselves to Rosa Parks. They are in no way anything like that situation on any level. And I guarantee you, they don't know a damn thing about Rosa Parks and why she did what she did. And now they're going to Google it real fast to see if they could figure out what I'm trying to get at. Because then they're going to come back tomorrow and say, oh, well, Rosa Parks did blah, blah, blah. Like they knew that the whole time. They're like, wait a minute. The way he said that, there's something that he's trying to get at. Yeah. Wharf Bear. Find out if he hates his father. I don't know if you're referring to Rogue Nation. The reason why I'm saying I think he hates his mother is because of the fact that if he films a woman and she says, I don't like being filmed, he starts pulling out dolls and talking about Sav and the Wambulance, and not only ignoring the fact that the woman feels, but actually making fun of her for feeling and teasing her for feeling, basically being beyond a bully, but to the point of a true egocentric, narcissistic, truly dictionary definition, narcissistic, egocentric, misogynist. Because it's bad enough to purposely go out of your way to do something. And again, the proof is in the pudding. This is what he does for a living. He does this every day. So he knows that women don't feel comfortable being filmed by a creepy pedo-looking idiot with a camera. He knows this because he does it every day, and they hate being recorded every day. So he knows. He can't say he doesn't know because he does it every day. So he knows. So he therefore is intentionally doing something that he knows makes women uncomfortable. And as soon as they get uncomfortable, he teases them for being uncomfortable. He pulls out his little doll. He says, I'm going to call the Wambulance. So he belittles their feelings. He belittles their emotion. And he, every time, every second that he spends disrespecting these women and making these women feel terrible, the more he feels like a man. The more he feels like he's a man because he's controlling these women. He's controlling these women's emotions. So he has to hate his mother. That's why I'm not saying he hates his father. He has to hate his mother because why would he get off so intensely? So extreme pleasure out of humiliating females. Why does he get such intense pleasure that he's decided to dedicate his entire life to humiliating females? It's got to be because he hates his mother. Forgive your mom, okay? Forgive her. Rights, lefts, all of them. Let's see. The bigger, the better. Rogue wasn't breastfed by his mom, and that's why he hasn't got over it yet. How does he treat his wife? Well, 46% of all, 96% of all frauditors beat their wives. It's a fact because they say 96% of all cops beat their wives. It's a fact. So 96% of all frauditors beat their wives. It's a fact. Well, how do you know? Well, 96% of all cops beat their wives because they said so. So 96% of all frauditors beat their wives because I said so. Bam! What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I said, you brought up Rosa Parks. I said, these guys probably don't even understand what Rosa Parks was actually doing. And then I'm like, yeah, now he's probably going to go look it up and then, act like he knew the whole time. And 10 minutes later, bam, there it is. Funny guy, Rogue. Funny guy. Let's see. Bacon deficiency can manifest in strange ways. Farmer John Bacon. That's right. And they beat their dogs. Yep. Let's see. Oh, go to car auctions. That might be a good place to find some frauditors. See, this is the thing. And there have been a couple times that Rogue has said to me, like, hey, man, let me know and I'll meet you somewhere or whatever. And it's like, if you really want to do something like where I can actually, get with the frauditor, I won't rat you out, Rogue. Contact me outside of here and tell me, because you know all the other frauditors. Like, I know if you're out there and I start filming you already have a rapport with me, good or bad. It exists. So it's not going to be the same as me coming up on somebody who's never even heard of me and gaslighting them because I know all of their script better than they do, right? You know all the other auditors. You need to contact me offline and let me know when and where they're going to show up, and I won't rat you out, and I'll show up there and I'll take care of them, and it'll be great. Let's see. Where are we? Martin Luther King Boulevard pack here in Australia. What do you know about that? The difference is nobody cares about the right to film in a post office. That's the thing. All right, see, this is the thing. I love that. Post offices, libraries, city halls, all of these places where they go and they do their bit. None of those things, like I said earlier, I'm bringing it up again because it is a real life example, actual real example of First Amendment suppression, because the fact that you're trying to keep a library quiet because people who use libraries are using it to read or to study. Maybe you have some students that are writing papers for school, that are doing research for their papers. Maybe you have people who don't have internet access that are going there to use the internet. Well, because of that, auditors have taken it upon themselves to expose the tyranny and the civil rights violations of the library. What? What? How? What? It doesn't, there's nothing, there's no, it doesn't, there's nothing, there's no, like, what? The post office is a place where they get mail, they get packages, they deliver mail, they deliver packages, they sell stamps, they sell envelopes, and auditors have taken it upon themselves to go there and expose the tyranny of what they're doing and the civil rights violations of their abhorrent behavior. delivering packages, which is what they're supposed to do. So, let's see. Filming at the polling location is tyrannical photography. Yes. The idea that these guys actually do this for all of these stated reasons is absolute nonsense. It's just complete nonsense. Their entire story never holds up. None of their excuses, none of their reasons. Okay. But again, all of these guys, and looks like the weather's coming back. I can hear it raining out there. Anyway, it's always the false equivalencies, right? It's always trying to paint a picture of like this superhero that's trying to save the world from tyranny. And this is what I was going to say. And it's actually getting pretty brutal really fast out there right now. So, and I've been on for almost 4 hours, so I'm going to wrap it up here. So this is the last point I want to make, just to reiterate from earlier. So what have we learned today, kids? Well, first of all, public servant is a term of dehumanization that is used by auditors to dehumanize their victims so that they don't feel sorry when they treat them the way that they do. That's number one. Number two, frauditors love to build false equivalencies and compare themselves to this hero, that hero, this icon, that icon, this political figure, that political figure, when in reality, all they're doing is to going places and fighting for a right to film places that nobody wants to film. They're fighting for our right to film inside places that nobody wants to film in. So what are you fighting for? Fighting for my right to film in the post office. Great. Nobody wants to film in the post office. Yeah, but I'm fighting for my right to film in the library. Great. But nobody wants to film in the library. But, and this is where I'm going to wrap it up. And again, I said this before, trying not to be political, but just as an example. When Ben Shapiro went to DePaul University in Illinois, in Chicago, DePaul, he made arrangements to give a lecture. He had a permit. He spoke with the school. He had it all set up. And when he got there, the cops would not let him in. That is a legit, real life attack on free speech. And where were the auditors for that? When something that actually does have something to do with free speech happens, these guys are nowhere to be found. So, with that being said, I am going to... So I'm going to wrap it up there. We can pick this up on Monday. I'm sure you'll be here, and we can get back to Rogue Nation trying to justify his misogyny by saying, I thought women and men were supposed to be equal. Oh, another false equivalency by Rogue Nation. Amazing. Amazing. Could you imagine Rogue Nation of all people trying to build a false equivalency to prove a point? Never done that before. That's not one of his standard techniques. All right. So, like they always say at the end of the show, yeah, I love all of you guys. Okay. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. I have a blast hanging out with you guys. You make my mornings, my days start so good because I got you guys. I love you guys. Yeah, I'm all shook up.